All right, welcome to Out of the Blue from the Block M Podcast Network, part of the Fan First Sports Network. The Out of the Blue Podcast. You've come to the wrong shop for anarchy, brother. I am Jared Stormer of the Block M Podcast Network. With me, as always, is Andy Bailey, my hetero life made of the same place and time. Andy Bailey, we do not have time for your damned hobbies, man. How are you?
I'm good, brother. How are you?
I'm tremendous, man. This is peak off season, I would say. This is peak off season when we decide that we have enough freedom to talk about movies, and we are going to do that tonight. But there's other stuff to talk about. The sports news never sleeps, and particularly not with Michigan. So still some stuff we need to cover. I know cycling's about to pick up for you. I'm going to try and get you in on World Cup. We made it to round of 32. It's been quite fun. This is easily the most fun American team in my lifetime. So I got to get you on for watch one game, whatever. Then you can take another 20 years off.
I mean, what was it? The 14 team was fun. With the 10 team with Donovan, 14 didn't have Donovan. They both made 16.
But goal scoring perspective, this is a way more electric and explosive.
02, we made it to quarters though. That's the bar.
Yep.
That's like the 89 Michigan team.
That's the bar, but this team has like a more fun offense. Like goal scoring has been at a premium, and like we're getting them in. So
you're telling me
fun.
The team that didn't qualify.
Yeah, well, I mean, regardless of how we got here, it's an argument for like the 16-team playoff. It's just like what SMU got in here, but then if SMU goes on a run,
what am I saying? What am I saying? If USA is playing, I'm supporting. Come on.
I was gonna say, like,
I just like to give you a little shit about being a soccer fan.
Talk you into sports patriotism.
I'm here.
Come on now, we don't judge about sports when it's a once in every 4 years. If you want to get into curling,
that's fair.
Once every 4 years, I'm gonna.
I watch cycling 9 months out of the year, so
we're sports free. We are sports freaks.
To stand on.
Yeah, you have no leg to stand on, so please do not. Get in Wednesday, so we'll be the next World Cup game against Bosnia. Yeah, there's some history there, at least for those of us that were alive in the 90s. So we'll see how that goes.
Right.
No matter who we get, there's going to be some history. Like Iran is a possibility. I'm like, oh, that'll be civil. Like we'll just get the team we're currently at war with. Like, how's that going to work? How's that going to play out? What do the U.S. fans do? Like, can we cheer? Like,
Oh yeah, Germany got eliminated today. I saw it, an upset.
That's good. I still hold grudges. Oh man, but yeah, other than that, cycling for you, and then it's like off-season news, and there's a lot, particularly with Michigan, given the dismissal of Dusty May, and we're kind of waiting to see, is Ward Manuel going to get fired? There's discussions now that Mike Boynton will not be interim; he will be named permanent head coach. That's just in the rumor mill right now. But how do you feel about that, Mike Boynton being potentially the next head coach for the Michigan men's basketball team?
It feels like a panic move to save the roster in the short term.
Like I agree with you.
It's not getting me overly excited. I mean, I know it's fun to keep the guys together in the short term, but didn't we learn our lesson from doing something very similar just a few years ago? I mean, it's not apples to apples here with the Sharon Moore situation, but it just feels like a very hasty move to try to put a Band-Aid on it. And be like, no, look, everything's fine. I solved it. I fixed it. I didn't screw anything up. And it feels like Ward trying to cover his ass.
It 100% feels that way. And we talked about Mike Boynton, like the best run he's had was around to 32 with Cade Cunningham as his point guard. His conference record just in regular season isn't that impressive. I'll see if I can pull it up here. I had it in last week's doc, but yeah, that wasn't that impressive. This is not like, if this was an open cycle, would this guy be even being talked about for some of the lower jobs? You know what I'm saying? Like, would Bowling Green or Toledo be like, we're going to get Mike Boynton? Now, the best thing he has on his resume is last year under Dusty May. That's the best thing on his resume by far, assistant coach for a national title winning team. I think giving him a 4-year deal is a giant mistake, particularly when like Billy Donovan's out there. We talked last week on the pod. You can go revisit that if you want, who our favorite coaches are. There are way better coaches available. Like, this would be a dramatic reaction. Honestly, this would feel like the death sentence for Ward Manuel if he does this.
Yeah, it's such an overreaction. I mean, if you want to talk yourself into it, you're going to say Mike Boynton is going to be the next Mike Brown, where it doesn't work out at a few stops. You get your sea legs about you as an assistant coach on the championship team, and now you come back around. You learn from your mistakes. You're ready to take the next step. Michigan's not that next step, though. It should be a lower
No.
level job. You prove yourself to do that, like Mike Brown did at the Kings, and then comes back to the Knicks and gets that position. So, like, I just don't like the hastiness of it. I don't like how fast they're trying to move. Again, it just feels very, very sneaky. Something's afoot, something's hidden, and it's all for short term. Like, I understand next year's exciting, but we're in the shadow of a national championship. We need to be thinking big picture.
Yeah, isn't next year the prove it year? Isn't the interim year the prove it year? And if you take us to the Sweet 16, like, by all means, give the guy a contract. If we're like third in the Big Ten, make a Sweet 16 run, or it doesn't even have to be that high. Like, I'm not setting the bar at those specific thresholds. But yeah, you've got to give him time to prove it before you just reward him for a contract for being an assistant coach, particularly when the Sharon Moore thing is so recent and so fresh and you already made that mistake. Like, you can't make the same mistake twice. I don't begrudge you making mistakes as an AD or as a GM or as a head coach. I begrudge you making the same mistakes twice, though.
I guess there's a fear with him being successful this season, though, if he has the interim tag, because it could be like the Jawan Howard situation, where
Sure.
he does the winning with somebody
Fool's gold.
else's players and then fails to build upon that success.
Also a concern. So sounds like neither of us are high on this, which means it'll probably end up getting done. I'm sure by next podcast, it'll be like 8-year guaranteed contract for Boynton. Like, what?
Also, they're going to bring in Kevin Herter on a two-way. He's coming back to college for a little bit.
We'll talk about it. Let's get through basketball here. Let's get through the Michigan basketball first. This is all positive, I think. All of our national champions get drafted. All of them go in the lottery as we predicted, as it was getting closer to the lottery. That was sounding more and more likely. The order, however, we did not predict, except for me on the day of after Dusty May when I threw in my little bet for Morez Johnson to go number 9. If you listen to what Dusty May had to say about Morez Johnson, if he was picking a Michigan guy, it was Mojo. And that's the way it went. He goes first of the Michigan guys, number 9, to join Dusty May in Dallas. And then it goes Yaxel Lendenborg shortly after to Golden State to join Steph Curry and Michigan State alum and notorious horrible person Draymond Green. And then Adai Mara goes to a team that you don't like next in OKC, but is certainly in a good place basketball wise there. So, from a basketball perspective, I love all three of these fits, honestly.
I was going to say the same thing. Adai joins the Thunder. They have 3 7-footers to throw at Wemby.
My word. And
That'll
he doesn't
do.
have to be the guy.
Exactly. Like, it's a perfect situation for him to develop, grow, especially that Hartenstein extension. Gives him just enough runway to become the next Hartenstein in that system. So, love the fit for Mara. Yaxel, I mean, hand in glove with what he's going to be
Come
asked to do
on,
there.
dude. Yeah.
It's so perfect what he can bring there on the wing for them, especially with the moves that are rumored to still be making, who he could be playing with next year. That's very exciting. And then Mojo to the Mavs. I mean, it felt a touch early, but who am I to question anything Dusty May does? Like, he's a heart and soul culture building player, and that's what you need on this team in this franchise right now.
I mean, Mojo was more my guy throughout the season for a
Mhm.
lot of that. Not only what I heard, but just what I saw about the effort that he brought. He had one bad game that I watched in all of last year, and it was in the tournament. And
Big
and
Ten
we were,
tournament.
yeah, Big Ten tournament. You're right, and we were heavily critical of him. But every other night, that guy brought it, and at the minimum, you were getting effort. And I see why Dusty May wanted him. Because I think that either of those other two guys would have fit. There's a bit of a logjam at center there. So Mara would have been like, okay, we can take Mara, but we got to move some other guys out.
Yeah.
Yaxel makes a lot of sense, but they are both kind of switchable 3-4 guys, him and Cooper Flag, who they already have there. Mojo is going to be a designated 4 and then can play some small ball 5. So different kind of player. And if it's like we want to set the tone for what this team's going to be under Dusty May, it makes sense that he got the guy that set the tone for what they were for Michigan in the tournament. So I wasn't surprised, got plus 1,000 odds on FanDuel on that one. Felt good about that. I love all the fits. I do think, though, I agree. It sounds like you agree Yaxel to Golden State is the most hand in glove. Like
It
that's
just
that's basketball purity right there.
One thing I love about all 3 is they all land in good situations, which is incredibly rare for 3 players
Rare
drafted in the lottery.
in the
Like,
lottery.
they
Yeah.
are all set up for success.
Yeah, no one's on the Nets, no one's on the Pelicans. Like,
Yeah.
these are 3 franchises that have real history. I mean, all 3 of these teams have won titles in my lifetime.
Yeah.
So, this is a good trio for them to land at. As far as what I think for success, next year, I think I'll go with Yaxel as the most impactful
Yeah.
right out of the gate because of offense and defense. Then I'll go Mojo just because Hartenstein and they have Thomas Sorber and they have Chet on OKC. So I think Mojo's going to get a lot of opportunities out there. He's going to be the
Mhm.
enforcer. He's going to play a lot with Chet. I don't think he's going to put up huge stats, but I think he'll get minutes and impact winning, which is
Yeah.
ultimately what Dusty's after. And then Mara, I think they'll kind of ease into it, a 10 to 12 minute a game kind of thing as needed. Maybe a little bit more than that. We'll see what he's able to do, but it certainly gives them size. And he's in a great situation, great developmental situation there, be there for at least 4 years. So, congratulations to all those guys. Any other thoughts there?
No, I mean, you think you hit everything on the head there. Also gives him Chet insurance if he never leaves that milk carton.
Yeah. And he was certainly missing MIA last year in the finals. Additional Michigan guys, Roddy Gale goes undrafted, signs with Detroit, goes to the Pistons. Roddy Gale staying. I love this. Come on
Yeah.
now. We're going to talk a little bit about some of the other Pistons moves here in a minute, but this is tremendous. I still get to root for Roddy Gale, who you want to talk about a guy winning me over. Love it. And then Namari Burnett signs with the Raptors. Any thoughts, big picture on either of those?
Good for them. It's a long uphill climb from here. The high end, they probably end up in the G League, but they get to keep playing basketball, and I love that.
I'm with you, dude. Let's touch quickly on some of the Pistons moves. This one, I will get through it quickly because I don't
I'm
want
gonna
to dwell
leave.
on it.
I'm gonna come back in about 2025. You good?
No, I won't do it. I'm doing 36 seconds on it. Isaiah Stewart has been traded to the Memphis Grizzlies for 3 second-round picks, essentially the picks that they sent out to move up for Abuka Akori in the NBA draft, who they got at number 17. Isaiah Stewart goes to the Memphis Grizzlies. I think I'll just summarize it by saying Chris Vernon, a podcaster that I love for The Ringer, who is a Memphis Grizzlies fan, and one of their credentialed reporters said he was removing his pants and running in the streets when this trade happened because he was that happy. Probably not a good sign if the team getting the other guy is that happy and everyone in the Detroit fan base is absolutely miserable. I don't mind if you're doing this with something in mind. Obviously, the Pistons have some needs if they want to get over the hump, but you did this to clear cap space. You don't have anybody in mind. You are throwing darts at Tyler Hero. I just heard DeMontis Sabonis might be coming to this team. So you're going to go from Isaiah Stewart, who almost set the record. He would have if he played more than 17 minutes for blocks in a playoff game, to DeMontis Sabonis, who, if you say defense within 300 yards of him, he will collapse at the knees and go into a seizure. You're going to do that, and you're going to tell me that you got better. Like, that is making a move that is putting the horse before the cart before the horse, or whatever the old saying is. You don't get rid of this guy for cap space without a move in mind. Bad move. I love Isaiah Stewart. If I were going to buy a jersey, I don't do it for the NBA because they move too much. It would have been Beef Stew. RIP. I freaking love you. You are the epitome of what I want Detroit basketball to be. I hate it.
But you forgot. Hold on, let me check here.
What do you got for
The
me? It's not going to help
Pistons
me.
re-signed Kevin Herter, and they added Isaiah Joe.
I do like Isaiah Joe. We can talk
There,
about that one.
there you go. All right, so you got
That's a good
Isaiah
move.
Joe. It's not all downhill.
That's a good move. I said I wanted that exact move. 2 second-rounders for Joe. That's shooting. That's great. Now, everybody you're expecting to play in the playoffs is under 6'3". I don't love that. Historically, that doesn't work. So you saw Jalen Brunson and you were like, you know
Let's
what?
have five of them.
Let's have 5 guys that are 6'1". It worked for this one guy who's a generational player. No. So I've maintained, and I'm waiting to have to walk it back because I like to be early. You know me. I like to be early more than anything. I don't think that Trajan Langdon is a good GM. Actually, I know that. I think he's an okay GM. He's competent. And coming from where we were, competence is fine, but he's not good. He's not. Charlotte is killing it right now. Memphis,
Yo,
always great front office. There are teams that have great, I mean, obviously OKC
yeah.
is kind of the benchmark. Like, we're right in the middle. And trading the heart and soul fan favorite of your team when you don't know the move, like if that move immediately nets us Tyler Hero and I see what the vision is enacted, I'm going to be a lot more forgiving and understanding of that. Not knowing what that move is, that's bad process.
So one player you could add to this team.
right now that's available, it's very dependent on price. So I have to bring that up because like I can't just say that outright. Like if we can just pick up Zach Levine as a buyout candidate, that's my favorite. But if it's one pick swap for Tyler Hero, maybe I would rather do that. Domantas Sabonis for Jalen Duren does nothing for me. If that's what's being talked about right now, that does nothing. You better get some picks back in that. I mean, can we get Darius Acuff and you take Okori? Probably
Hey,
not. But
now you're talking.
now you're moving me.
Now
Now
you're
you're
moving
moving
me.
me.
Jalen
We need a
Brown.
4. We need a 4. We need a 4. Jalen Brown, probably not. Too much money. We need a 4. The player that makes the most sense right now is Michael Porter Jr., but I hate Michael Porter Jr. But
Is
basketball wise, that makes the most sense right now with what they've done.
is this team changing its entire identity this offseason?
Yes, and I don't like it. Yeah, because you get worse on defense when you get rid of Isaiah Stewart. And if you get rid of Duren for Sabonis, you're now not only a top 3 defensive team, you're probably closer to the dead middle of defensive teams. And then there's your identity gone. Like Asar Thompson is generational, but he's not that generational.
I want to put that on a t-shirt. Not that generational.
Not that generational. You know what I mean, though? He
I
can't be
got you.
your entire defense. That's just
No.
like we have Lamar Jackson, but we surrounded him with guys that wouldn't play at like Boston College
Yeah,
right
it's like you
now.
put Lamar Jackson on Navy. It's just not going to work.
It's just not going to work. Well, actually, of all the teams to put Lamar Jackson on,
I mean,
that's
hell,
a
that
very
might be
fun.
nasty.
That's a very fun.
As
team
soon
to
as I
put
said
Lamar
it, I was
Jackson on.
like, well, yeah, no, you say that.
Yeah.
Yeah. But no,
Yeah,
I get
so
what you're
that's where
saying.
I'm at.
Very, very risky proposition trying to change your culture and entire team identity in one offseason.
And a guy that wants to be there on the best contract. He had the best contract on the team. It was $15 million a year. You just signed Kevin Huerter to $9 million a year. Much worse player.
It's a very Kings-ish move.
I don't like it, dude. I don't like it. So we'll see. Everyone wants to be a keyboard warrior. I'm a podcast warrior. I have no experience running a basketball team, but I put all my stuff out there. I'm very vocal about it. And you can go back and check my records. I also keep a draft record of everyone I would have taken for the Lions and Pistons. Right now, we would have 2 extra first rounders and Matas Bazelis. We would also have Tyrese Maxey. So I've got some hits in there.
Is this in your manifesto?
It's in my manifesto.
I love this.
Why did he burn down that Kmart?
Because he bet it all on Malik Beasley.
He left a manifesto. Great transition. Tough Detroit Sports Week. Not only is Isaiah Stewart traded, Terrion Arnold is going to Capital P prison. I mean, this might be Angola. Michael Beasley will meet him there. So we're going to have some athletes with these federal prison charges that are Michael Beasley for the Malik Beasley, excuse me, for the gambling incident, and then Terrion Arnold for kidnapping and torturing the wrong guys. Kidnapping. So yeah, where do you want to go here? You want to talk about the which was basically the plot of Fargo, or do you want to talk about the betting scandal?
Yeah, it was a rough week for us early on last week, going through the motion. Oh, Dusty's gone. Oh, Terrion Arnold's going to prison forever. And then today's Malik Beasley was shaving points in games. Like, oh, okay. It's just going to keep getting worse. So next you're going to tell me, Jared Goff was are illegally like importing tigers or something and having them fight each other.
Human trafficking for Goff? Come on.
What is this? It's a rough week. I don't even know if the Lions cut Arnold today, although he's going to post bail and go out. It's the right move. Just there's no coming back from that.
No, there absolutely isn't. There was like a little bit of positive. Maybe LJ Kaysen plays next year. He said that. That was like, we got to sprinkle in some positives in here.
Oh, we got a big positive coming.
There is some positives coming, but yeah, this Terrion Arnold thing. Credit to the Twitter user who came up with this. I need to find you because this is the greatest thing I've ever heard. They're calling the Lions secondary the Legion of Whom, which is, I wish I would have come up with that. Like, I don't often get jealous of jokes. I am jealous of that joke.
That's pretty good, man.
That's pretty
elite
good
work. Yeah.
Really good stuff there. And then Malik Beasley, Bayonet Beasley. Yeah, what are you going to do there? Andy, give me some good news.
All right, let's go. Kind of suppress the profanities here. I'm so excited. Michigan hockey adds the unanimous #1 prospect in the 2027 class, D-man Landon DuPont. The 17-year-old DuPont is one of only 9 players ever to garner exceptional player status from the CHL, a status even Gavin McKenna didn't earn. Just think of it like a 6-star in recruiting. Also, Michigan incoming freshman forward commit JP Hurlburt was drafted in the first round by the Red Wings last week. Super smart player, sniper with the puck. And rising sophomore Adam Valentini was drafted in the third round. And 2027 freshman, not coming in this year, coming in next year, Noah Kosick goes in the sixth round. Beating around the bush here, Landon DuPont's coming to Michigan, number one recruit in program history. I want to just throw things in the air. I'm so excited for this. This is big news. We have a special guest coming next month to talk about the entire roster, everything in great detail. I'm fired up, man. This is the most talented Michigan team probably ever, at least going back into the 90s, top to bottom. I mean, you look at some of the names on the blue line with Cameron Reed, Landon DuPont, Henry Muse, Ben Robertson, Asher Barnett, Dakota Rayo Mullen, and Drew Schock. It's the deepest blue line I've ever seen in Michigan. I mean, it is incredible what they're putting out there. You already know the forwards. We could run through the top 12, but we're not going to do that because that's not good podcasting. What you need to know is that Landon DuPont is Quinn Hughes incarnate, one of the best players to ever come out of Canada, an absolute star. He's going to be a first pairing on this team. Can't wait to watch the hockey team this season, man.
This is tremendous news. I love your enthusiasm about it. It's finally time, particularly if it's going to be Kevin Herter and Mike Boynton for basketball in the state of Michigan next year. Maybe it's time for me to
Yeah,
move over to hockey, at least when it comes to college.
it's a
And I
big
think
one.
this is the year. Give it to me. Give me the DuPont commitment in either basketball or football terms. Sorry to put you on the spot here, but like as far as the level of prospect and level of excitement I should have, is it Underwood, Peppers? Is it
Higher,
Brandon McCoy? Is it higher than
higher.
so it's higher than Underwood? There's
It's
never
higher than
Heider?
Underwood.
It's
It's high.
Heider? Then
It's
it's
higher.
Heider.
High. It's higher than high. This is like
There is no higher than Heider.
no. There's higher than higher. I mean, not. There's not a comp in Michigan football history. He's that. I mean, maybe Drew Henson, just because of what he was in both baseball and
Wow.
football. It's that type.
This is unparalleled then.
It is unparalleled. That's what it is. So basically, the exceptional player status was introduced in 2005 to allow younger players a chance to play major, junior early. Four of those players have been number one picks. So four of the eight preceding him, one's been a number two, one's been a number three. Gavin McKenna did not earn this, and he was a generational prospect. He is better than McKenna. He's an elite blue liner, one of the best we've seen in the last 20 years. He can play both ways. He was first on the power play, first on the penalty kill, a complete two-way hockey player. A little undersized, but that's kind of the way modern hockey's going at the defenseman position. If you look at Cale Makar, the aforementioned Quinn Hughes here, it's up there, man. It's a Connor Bedard, it's a Connor McDavid, players who used to not come to college. That's what Landon DuPont's on. So that's similar. That's talking. It's like a LeBron James, a Kevin Garnett. It's that type of class.
Good God.
Yeah.
All right. I didn't realize we were on that level because that's the way you were talking about McKenna last year. Was
Mhm.
like this would be the best recruit of any sport that came to
He's
Michigan. So and this
higher,
guy's better.
better.
Well, that's silly.
And he plays
That's
defense. He
silly
plays
times.
defense, so it's even more
Well, then
valuable
yeah,
position.
then it's gonna
Yeah.
be my kinda guy, yeah. We were debating, is this a good name or is this a bad name? If he's actually a villain, like, we could use a good villain again. It's been a minute.
Mhm.
We loved Iggy Brazdakis when he was a villain, like, Mo Wagner had some villain energy to him, like, I love a good villain. Obviously, one of our favorite quotes of all time from, Mikey Barrett, "Careful who you make a villain, man."
There's some villain energy on this team, especially Malcolm Spence coming back. He's a little bit of a pest on offense. And Justin LaRose, keep an eye out for him on the third or fourth line this season. Excuse me, was supposed to be on the team last year. Had some admissions issues. Should be all cleared this fall. Physical. Very, very physical, nasty type of player. The kind of guy you have when you have players like Michael Hayes to protect.
I love this. All right, this is the year then. It's finally got to happen, particularly with the way things are trending in basketball. Let's flip the page over to football. And I'm so pumped about this, dude. What did we say last week when we were talking, or 2 weeks ago, I guess it was, when we were talking about what does this team need as far as an influx of youth, talking about this football team. So the last thing says, like, get me a dedicated, the next guy linebacker and get me a center. Well, we got one of them. We got a pair of them, but one of them looks like he could be the real thing. Frederick Ford, Freddie Ford.
Come on.
We got some sick nickname. I mean, Ford in near Detroit.
That's what I'm saying.
Like, dude, there are so many good nicknames. Another good name class. but he's a 4-star linebacker, 6'4", 200 pounds already. Offers from Tennessee, Mississippi State, LSU, Ole Miss, all the SEC teams. This is a big get, dude. And this is the best line. I mean, we've had
Since
some
Colson, highest
since,
rated since
yeah, I
Colson.
was going to say since Colson. Yeah, like we've had some since Bush, but it was Colson and then a couple guys that have transferred out. Like, this is a reason to be excited. Freddie Ford, dude, I'm in. I'm in on this. Needed this one.
Highest rated backer for Michigan since 2021, so 5 years. 5 years in between, 81-inch wingspan. I'm a little nervous about holding him off from Mississippi State and Ole Miss. He is a Mississippi kid, so you're gonna have some big battles there coming, especially with Pete Golding at Ole Miss. But if Michigan can hold on to this kid, this could be a big time piece moving forward.
Yeah, exactly. I don't wanna get too committed because it's early in the cycle and,
Mhm.
he's down south there, but really, really exciting commitment. Additionally, we got a 3-star linebacker commit from Weston Port, who I have not had a chance to review much about Weston Port, but I did see the commitment photo and got his 247 page pulled up. That's about what a linebacker ought to look like. That sounds and looks like a linebacker. Weston Port and yeah, Freddie Ford, Landon DuPont. This does sound like the cast of Downton Abbey a little bit, some of these guys, but I'm not mad about it.
No, fine show. Maggie Smith is a treasure. But uh, Weston Port coming back off a 2-year mission, so an older player coming into the system, but nothing unfamiliar for Kyle Whittingham and the staff. Same thing happened with John Henry Daly, came in after a 2-year mission. So guy's going to be a little bit older, a little bit mature, maybe some more grown man weight on his frame, and he gets early enroll in January. So fired up about adding some more depth to a position of need.
Definitely a position of need, one that we have had our eyes on. And 5-star cornerback Joshua Dobson down to his final 3. It's going to be
Oh
between
God.
Texas A&M, South Carolina, and Michigan. Going to make us sweat this one out. This would all but assure a top 10 class, an
Yeah.
absolute stud. I mean, he would be the best corner prospect since Will Johnson, but then you go
Yep.
back before that and you're looking at like he'd probably be a better prospect than Jair Hill. He'd be a better prospect than Lavert Hill. Shamari Earls would probably be the one on the prospect level that he'd be closest to.
Yeah.
But I think Dobson has a brighter future than Earls based on the limited amount that I've seen. So really, really exciting player, would secure the top 10 class, would be the cornerstone of the class. I don't think there's anyone higher than Dobson that we're in on still. So this is the one to watch.
Do you think he commits?
I do not. I do not. I'm gonna predict no on Dobson. I'm gonna think South Carolina. But yeah, it could be A&M. I would, if it were me, I would certainly never go to Texas A&M. You'd have to put a gun to my head to go there. But the money is gonna come into
Jesus, dude.
play. Even then, I
Just
might
Mike
not.
Elko just had all kinds of strengths.
Have you seen the videos of them like warming up the crowd before games?
Oh, it's the
It's
midnight yell. Yeah, it's
it's
not great.
it's the lamest thing I've ever seen in my
It's not
life.
great. Yeah,
That ain't
it's
co that ain't the environment. So, I don't know, do you think we get him?
I think
I'm
South
leaning
Carolina.
no.
I think South
Yeah,
Carolina. I mean, the North Carolina kid. Also, he had his last visit there. That's why I
yeah.
really do. Michigan was in the middle, June 12th. South Carolina, June 19th. They got him back in the building. Reminds me of, was it Julian Walker last year as well? Michigan, South Carolina in the battle. Michigan had him and he flipped. His dad was a strength and conditioning coach, so a little bit different, but it'd be a big get. This would be a big flex from the staff. They can land Dobson.
And here's the thing, if he goes to South Carolina, they are on coach replacement watch with another bad season.
Yep.
With their quarterback situation, if they don't have a good year, that is 100% a change of coach and then a transfer.
Yep.
So, like, that's the thing nowadays. I don't like that we have to talk about that. But even if we don't get him freshman year, it's actually better to get him. No, you want him freshman year because you'd
Yeah.
rather develop them in
True.
your system.
But
But
you're never out on them
you're
completely
never really
anymore.
out.
Yep.
That's the point. Yep, absolutely. All right, brother. Anything else from you before we go to our next segment?
Not bad for 30 minutes of not having content in the off season.
We do what we can. We'll be back with some mailbag right after this. All right, we've got a segment for you and one that we haven't done in a while. Had to open up the mailbag. It's been a minute, got some good questions, and we are always down. You can email us at ootbsports23 at gmail.com. You can reach out to us on Twitter. We are always open for mailbag, particularly in the summer when there's not much going on. A couple good questions here. We will get to as many of them as we can. So, one of the questions that we got in the mailbag Are there any award winners on this team? Any first rounders on this team? So I propose that question to you, Andy Bailey. Any major award winners? So we're talking obviously Heisman, Maxwell, Walter Camp, Bolitnikoff, any of those. And you can explain which one it is if you think that there's potentially an award winner on this team.
I think the obvious choice is Utah transfer John Henry Daly, coming off an All American season, 17 and a half tackles for loss, 11 and a half sacks last year before his Achilles injury. Now, all signs point to him being fully recovered, and that's a big caveat to this entire point I'm making. But if healthy, he is a threat to be a first round draft pick next year and be a serious candidate for the Chuck Bednarik Award and the Bronco Nagurski Award, both recognized as both outstanding defensive player in the country.
Couldn't agree more. The conversation begins with John Henry Daly. I would also like to add that it's possible, though unlikely, because there's some great running backs. How about Jordan Marshall for the Doak Walker, given to the nation's best running back? And we've got another guy on this roster that I think will be in conversations at some point. And Jordan Marshall has another year with this Michigan program. There are some guys that are probably favored ahead of Jordan Marshall, but with how good we think this offensive line could be, this is where I go next. Do you agree this is the next most likely outcome? Jordan Marshall, the Doak Walker.
It's the most logical when you factor in how much the team is going to run the football. Now, health is going to play into it, obviously. Can Jordan Marshall stay healthy for an entire season? Something we haven't seen yet, but this is where the emergence of Savion Hyder could really help balance him out and kind of serve as that 1A, 1B, like Blake Corum and Donovan Edwards in 2022. When Corum was getting all the accolades, but staying healthy until week 11 because of Donovan Edwards splitting the load with him.
I'm with you there. Where else do you go here? Could it be how about Andrew Marsh Bolitnikoff? I mean, obviously, there's some stud
Yeah.
wide receivers this year. He's up against really, really firm competition. But we're just kind of going in order of the players we think are the best that are going to have the biggest impact. That's probably where you go next is Marsh and the Bolitnikoff, but that would be insane.
That would be a big leap. Or you look at either one of the defensive backs rising up for the defensive award, again, like the Bednarik, something like that, in terms of a Jair Hill, a Zeke Berry, a Rodmore in that mix. But I don't know if there is another award winner on this team. However, I do think there is first round potential with Jair Hill there. He has the frame, and if he can put it all together this year, scouts have been salivating over his potential for years. So it's just putting it all together, removing those feet he has for hands, and taking that next step this season.
Jair Hill's by far the most likely next first round pick. Zeke Berry, for similar reasons, could get himself into that range. Seems like Jair Hill's trending more that way. And now that we're starting to get some intel on who a lot of these scouts and teams think are first rounders next year, Jair Hill is ahead of Zeke Berry right now, obviously extremely early in the process. As far as other award winners, I have to agree, there's nothing that stands out. If someone was going to jump up and take it, how about Jake Warrenara taking the Remington just as a dark horse one? Could be a fun one there. So I'll throw you that one there. And then as far as other first rounders, there are other first rounders on this team, just not likely next year. I think
Yeah,
that as far as like first rounders down the road, obviously a lot of things need to play out, but Jordan Marshall could be there. Savion Hyder certainly has the talent. Andrew Marsh, Andrew Balbaloa, who hasn't played a snap for Michigan,
exactly.
is exactly the kind of player that you're looking for physically and athletically. So there's definitely other first rounders on this team. I just think that you're probably capped out at two is your maximum. If
Yeah.
it's three, someone really emerged
Yeah,
for you, I
so
think.
like a David Ojabo type leap where you have two career tackles coming in and just ascend in one spectacular season. And hey, man, you weren't that far off last year. You said Marlon Klein was going to be a first rounder, and you were damn close.
Yeah, I mean, I shouldn't have been that close. I don't know if Marlon Klein should have gone that early. But yeah, there was things to like there. Don't necessarily think that we're gonna what is it, the Mackey is the top tight end? I don't think there's a Mackey award winner on
Zach
this
Marshall
team.
would have to take a big jump this season.
That's quite a leap there. Other mailbag questions that we got here. Let's pull up some of these right here. Got some good ones. What do we see are the uncertainties on this team? This question coming from, I think it's from Ed here. We kind of talked about this one a little bit as far as uncertainties when we did our weaknesses last week, but yeah, you can run through them again if you'd like.
Quarterback. Let's, I mean, let's circle it. Let's put it in bold. Let's tattoo it somewhere. Quarterback. It's just the biggest question mark on this team. I'm not going to say it's a strength or a weakness right now, but it's the biggest indicator of success one way or the other, how this team vacillates.
quarterback, linebacker, if you want to get a little deeper, do we have the guys on the offensive line to take the leap? Can the young guys on the defensive line step up this year, or is it like a next year thing? Do we have the guys there? That's pretty much where I'm at. Everywhere else, I feel like I know a lot of it of what we've got coming back next year. So appreciate the question there, Ed. Let's mix it up here. Will we be playing GTA 6? Interesting question there. That's from Lewis. Great name, Lewis. I know you will not be. You have a newborn child. I'll give it a go. I'll give it
Hey,
a
man.
go. But I'm not gonna like. I mean, it's only digital download, I think, and it's $100. I'm not gonna be like among the first adopters. I'll give it a go down the line, though. Who amongst us doesn't like parking a bus in the middle of the road and then throwing some plastic explosives on it and running away? It's a great
Is,
time.
it,
I'll,
is that
I'll definitely
Malik
do that.
Beasley or Terry and Arnold?
Both. We'll get to that. All right. Also from Lewis, are we still upset about Dusty and Ward? I'll speak for myself and say yes.
Yeah, still hurts.
Um, thoughts on possible jersey patches in stadium sponsorships on the field? It is lame. It goes by what I call the Marsh principle. Everything gets lamer over time and more focused and centered around money. So yeah, of course it's lame. I don't like it.
I hate
And
it. It
then
sucks.
yeah, it sucks. And yeah, let Ward get one or two really bad decisions in before that we finally foist him out of there. Here's one from friend of the pod and former brief co-host of mine, Michael Smeltzer. How many combined rushing yards will Savion Hyder and Jordan Marshall have this year? And why is the answer 4,000?
Lo-
Bold.
I love the optimism from our buddy Michael. So 5-year average for Michigan running backs has been just under 2,000, 1970.
Oh,
It
look at
can't.
the big brains on Andy.
Come on, man. High was Hassan Haskins and Blake Corum in 2021 with 2279. Excuse me. High was 2022, 2454 with Donovan Edwards and Blake Corum. So I think sending it about 2,200, I feel like is a good spot for this to be. But it's going to be,
I
the
don't
wealth is going to be spread out a little bit. So it's hard to really pin
right.
it.
Yeah, and we will do eventually a stats up, stats down, stats prediction pod, one that we do almost annually. So I don't want to step on that too much, but I was right around you. I was going to even throw out a number. I was going to go 2260.
Yeah.
So I was
That's
right
good.
in line with you there. Yeah, I think it'll be a big rushing year, but I don't
Yeah.
think it'll set the record. Is
Yeah.
basically where I'm at
It's
there.
just
Great
hard to,
question.
predict in Jason Beck's offense, which we haven't seen yet.
Right, absolutely. Other questions here. Do we care about the Star Wars sequel trilogy? Did a recent rewatch and surprised at how good The Last Jedi was. The last one is pure ass. Wondering if we have a take on this or not. That's from Mattingly HOF 26. Thank you for the question. Do you have a take? I have a strong take.
You go ahead. You know where I stand.
I do not love those 3 movies. I think that there was a lot of potential, but they didn't communicate about what they were trying to do out of the gate. So there's 2 different visions from the different directors that are doing it. Like it starts out with what is it, J.J. Abrams, and then it's Ryan Johnson, and
Then
then
it's
it's a
J.J.
different
Abrams.
and then it's Abrams again.
Yeah.
So there's no consistent through lines. They fumble so much of it. There's good moments. I think the first one is basically a shot for shot remake of A New Hope. And the first one is called
Force
Force
Awakens.
Awakens. Force Awakens. I enjoy that one. It's kind of pressing all the right buttons for me. I mean, it's just like a nostalgia bath, though. I don't think we really broke any new ground there. The Last Jedi didn't work for me, but I respect doing something different. It is different. It stands apart from the other ones, but I don't like it because there's no consistency there. And also, Luke Skywalker drinking the udder milk of a land manatee and then looking at the camera didn't do it for me. But
It's
yeah,
my
that's my
favorite scene
take.
of the trilogy. Um, Force Awakens to me is fun, nostalgic bait. I'm not a huge fan. Haven't revisited it more than one time since I saw it in
It's
theaters.
fine.
Last Jedi, very divisive, but to me, it's head and shoulders my favorite of the 3. It's at least original, taking some swings.
Mhm.
Now, those swings may not work for some people. They work for me. And in terms of the Rise of the Skywalker, I would rather watch Come and See with my in-laws every weekend than rewatch that movie.
I would probably rather watch my in-laws making love than
I would rather
rewatch
watch reruns of The Cleaning Lady than to watch Rise of Skywalker again.
The Rise of Skywalker is truly one of the worst movies ever made.
So bad.
Yeah, I couldn't quite finish it, but I got almost to the end there. Yeah, so not a great trilogy. I actually, I mean, I was a kid when it came out, but the prequels work for me a lot better than the sequel trilogy personally. But
And you're a big fan
maybe
of
it
the
was
Gungans.
bit love the Gungans. Great representation. But appreciate the question there. And then this one from Gear Jammer on Twitter as well. Knows we love the Mummy, but never knew which version. Brother, there's a whole podcast about which one that we want.
There's
Just
one
go
version.
search.
There's
There's
one.
only one version in our mind. Just go search a perfect film, The Mummy. You will find us talking about it for an hour and a half, which you will hear a little bit more of when it comes to our takes on movies later on in this episode. Thanks to everyone that wrote in.
Dude, we have
Again,
one
you can
more.
always
You
reach.
don't forget the best question.
Oh, I am so sorry. You're right. Andy, please take it away. This is the best question.
Yes, so Mattingly doubled up here. Shout out to you, man, for this one. What are our top 5 Tarantino movies, top 5 PTA, Paul Thomas Anderson movies, and which list is stronger?
This is incredible. And there's a recent addition to the Paul Thomas Anderson catalog that really makes this more of a question. And I don't think we've done this, you and I. And we do like little exercises like this amongst ourselves. I don't think we've done this. So you're
Little
right. This is the
countdown,
best
me and
question.
you ready?
I am ready. All right. Let me bring up my letterbox so you kick us off.
All right, do you want to do PTA first or Tarantino?
Let's do Tarantino first because he hasn't done anything in a while. So this has been set in stone for some time.
Okay, so my number 5 here rotates based on what I've seen normally most recently. So it'd be Django, Reservoir Dogs, because I love the Mr. Blonde stuff. Kill Bill 1's also in the mix. But number 5 for me, out of nowhere, The Hateful Eight. Every time I rewatch The Hateful Eight, I come away more and more impressed. I love that it's so claustrophobic. It feels like a play. Like this could easily be staged with everything taking place at the haberdashery. I just think it's brilliantly executed. I think the acting across the board is superb. Jennifer Jason Leigh is maniacal and perfect in this. Great Kurt Russell, great Walton Goggins. Samuel L. Jackson's thrown 1,000 miles an hour in one of a later career great performances by him. I really enjoy The Hateful Eight.
I have it higher. I love it.
Oh, let's
Absolutely.
go. I thought this would be
Yeah.
the divisive one. Let's go.
No, it's on my 5. Yeah, I have it higher.
Oh,
It's a great revisit, and my
yeah.
top 100 is a lot about like which ones I like to revisit. At number 5, I'll go Inglorious Bastards, a movie that I love. I don't revisit as much. One of the greatest what ifs, Adam Sandler as Eli Roth's character was
The Bear
supposed to be,
Jew.
and you and I talk about it at all the time. How much better is this movie with Adam Sandler doing that? A great movie, one of my all-time favorite performances, one of my all-time favorite villain performances from Christoph Waltz. A little over long for rewatching a ton, but I'm always happy to revisit it. This movie's incredible. Some people will say it's his masterpiece. I'm not going to fight you if you think so.
We're going to talk about it again in a few minutes.
Mhm. All right, at number 4, I'll go next. Jackie Brown.
Same. What is
Let's
this?
go. Let's go. This one could get higher for me, and depending on my mood, sometimes this one's higher. You know, I love like a sweet movie, and I love
Yep.
movies with heart. And Tarantino doesn't have many movies with heart,
It
so
does
when
not.
he does, it really works for me. This movie has heart. Tremendous use of Robert De Niro. Tremendous use of Robert De Niro and Sam Jackson and
It's
Bridget Fonda. Just everyone is so well cast in this.
Pam Grier.
Pam
Just
Grier's cooking,
incredible. I
and
mean, Forster.
Forrester is probably the best performance in the film.
He's just the most. You just love him. Like I don't. There's such a warmth to his performance that you're just immediately just like I'm on this guy's side.
I
No
want
matter
that
what
man to
happens.
unwrap me a butterscotch candy and sit me on his lap and tell me everything's going to be okay. Love
I
it.
mean, not to mention you have Michael Keaton, Chris Tucker just tucked in the mix.
Oh, that's right. Chris Tucker's in this.
Yeah.
Doesn't go well for him.
No, it does not. But yeah, I love Jackie Brown. I mean, talk about like a ballsy choice too, following up Pulp with this one just a
I
few
know.
years later. So I love the off speed pitch. Number 3 for me, Once Upon a Time in Hollywood.
I love it. I
It's
love it. Do you want to talk about it now, or you know it's coming up for me at some point? So
we'll save that one. What's your number 3?
at number 3, it's Pulp Fiction for me.
Okay,
I mean
let's pocket that
got to
one as
be in
well.
there. We'll pocket that one as well. All right, so we'll keep going on it. All right, at number 2, it's Hateful Eight.
There it is. God,
At number 2, I
I
love it,
love
dude.
the extended version of the chapters too that Netflix released.
Yeah. Oh, what did you have at 3? I apologize.
Oh, number 3 was Once Upon a Time.
Oh, okay. Okay. That was your 3,
Yeah,
mine 3. And then, yep. So Hateful Eight for me at 2. What do you got at 2?
Inglorious Bastards. And I think what one of my favorite scenes in movie history is the basement bar scene with Fassbender.
It's so good. It's the best
It's
scene in that movie. Well,
it's
that or the opening interrogation, they're both
yes.
incredible. Yeah,
Just unbelievable. Just an
yeah.
absolutely incredible scene. Watched it recently, so it's very top of mind. So I have it a little higher on my list. And my number one is Pulp Fiction. Like it's been that way for a long time. I mean, what hasn't already been said about Pulp Fiction? I just think it's a masterpiece, especially in creativity and originality.
Yep. For the Hateful Eight, just fun to revisit every time I notice something a little bit different. The performances, because they rehearsed it and did it so
Hmm.
much, they're really at home in these performances. Walton Goggins is incredible. Some of my favorite Sam Jackson. If you
Yep.
made me pick, it might be my favorite Sam Jackson. And then Pulp Fiction, like enough
Right.
has been said about that. I don't think. Oh yeah, well, and you're about to. Yeah. So
Like
for me, at number one, it's Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. It has heart. It has two of my favorite actors, movie stars being movie stars. Some of the best score you're ever going to see. Some of the best needle drops. It has more of a feeling. It's so lived in. You are transported back to this time and place. Clearly an homage and a love letter to Hollywood and me as a movie fan. It hits all my buttons. Didn't even love it the first time I watched it. And now every rewatch, it's like a warm blanket putting it on. Love it. So fun. Love Once Upon a Time in Hollywood.
some parallels to the movie we're going to talk about tonight as well, just in terms of the
Yes.
leads and the relationship. If we just counted screenplays, True Romance would be number two for me.
Yeah, True Romance would be in this if he directed it.
Yep.
I think I would probably find a place for it. As it stands now, first one off for me is probably Django or Reservoir Dogs. Probably Django.
Yeah, Django. I
Yeah,
mean, again, my number five rotates so much. Like my four from Pulp Fiction and Glorious Bastards, Once Upon a Time, Jackie Brown is set in stone
pretty
being the
set.
top four, but they can rotate a little bit.
Absolutely. And now Paul Thomas Anderson. This one's a little hard. I haven't contextualized this one, so we're gonna have you kick us off, and I've got to figure this out on the fly.
So once again, my number five kind of rotates. I'm gonna vamp a little bit for you. You're welcome.
Thank you.
This spot rotates with Punch Drunk Love sometimes with Phantom Thread, which I know you're not as big a fan of. But
No.
I landed on one I know you're gonna have no problem talking about, and that's One Battle After Another.
Ah, far too low for me, but I understand things hit, and that's something different with him. Our lists were fairly similar. I mean, we had the same five
Yeah.
for Tarantino. We are not going to have the same five here, I don't think, and that's something interesting about this director. I was a little late to the party. You got me onto this one. One bell after the another, though. Let's save that one. We'll save that
Okay.
one. Yep.
Number
So
4 for no, you want me to
Oh,
keep going? You
I
need
can
time?
do 5. No, I
Okay.
can do 5.
Okay.
So at number 5, I think I will go with The Master.
It's my number 4.
Um,
It's perfect. Right
okay,
there.
I've only seen it once. Due for a rewatch. Absolutely absorbed into this movie. Two of the best performances you're ever going to see. Incredible Philip Seymour Hoffman. Man, did this movie affect me. I still think about this one.
Yeah, not the most fun watch. I mean,
No,
there is humor. There's humor in all PTA movies. It's just very dark and twisted, and you don't really pick up on it till multiple viewings. But I mean, PSH is incredible. Joaquin Phoenix is. I mean, this is a he leaves a pound of flesh in every scene in this movie. Like there is just
unbelievable.
so much left on the screen. A very uncomfortable viewing, but just a masterpiece of a movie.
It truly is. It is a masterpiece, and, like, these are capital F films, all these ones that we're gonna talk about when you're talking about this director, so
Yeah. So you're number 4.
my number 4 will be Magnolia, another one that I saw recently. Love this movie. It is out there. You wanna talk about a guy going for it. This is
Yeah.
PTA going for it,
Yeah.
and I think it's got incredible performances. It doesn't work all the time, but so much of what does work, works well for me, and,
Yeah.
like, it's so frenetic, and it's so ambitious, so props to that.
Very, very ambitious. Didn't make my list for all the reasons you kind of stated. Like it's just a little all over the place. I feel like if this movie had a high class editor, it could be his best movie. Like there's a
Mm.
ton of good stuff in here, just a little bloated at times, and it's like he just put everything out there, just through all the
Everything's in
creative
there.
ideas.
Yeah.
Everything is there. There is nothing left on the floor. So that was my only issue. But no, I mean, wonderful to look at. I mean, heartbreaking performances in that movie as well.
Oh my
You don't walk
god.
away with a dry eye after that one.
It's the
Um,
best cruise, and if you
yeah,
have the best
yeah.
cruise, you're gonna be pretty high on my list.
Number 3 for me, Licorice Pizza.
Oh my god, can I find a way to get licorice pizza on here? Man, that's such a good one. Talk about it.
Like, first time I saw it, I was just blown away. I watched it on a plane, and then I was like, "I have to do this justice and rewatch it when I get there." So I got home and I watched it again. It's just such a fun ride. Like, I mean, very similar to Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. It's reminiscent about a time past in LA, just looking back at adolescence, the friendships, the adventures you get into. Incredible Cooper Hoffman in this. Bradley Cooper
Incredible.
is so funny in this
Unhinged.
movie. This is when Bradley Cooper was on just an all-time heater with A Star
Yeah.
Is Born and this coming out. Just incredible movie, man. So much fun, so sweet. We talk about Jackie Brown being Tarantino's sweet movie. This movie's incredibly sweet, and there's a lot of warm heart in this.
I think any of the last 3 that I've discussed could be in here. Like, you catch me on the right day, like, I'd much rather rewatch Licorice Pizza than Magnolia or The Master, for
Yeah.
sure.
Oh yeah,
Uh,
hands down.
because it's so much more fun, and like we were talking about movies with heart, this movie's got it by the barrel. Like,
Yeah.
this movie's got nothing but heart. Cooper Hoffman, not a nepo baby, the kid can act. Love
No.
Cooper Hoffman, and
Good
he's
Sean
so
Penn in
good in
that
that.
movie too.
Yeah, dude, it's just a good movie.
Yeah.
I love it, man. I'm glad we at least got to talk about it. Not on my list this time, but ask me next week, it might be. Like, that's
Yeah.
how close some of these movies are. Okay, so then it's to me at 3.
Yep.
Boogie Nights. The first one that I ever saw, absolutely. Like, when I first saw it, I had no idea. Like, I wasn't into movies yet. And I'm like, this movie's hilarious and so much fun. And now you watch it, and this movie's a nightmare. It is a descent into hell, and I love it. I love it. The performances, it's the best Wahlberg, the best use of Wahlberg. It's some of the best use of John C. Riley, my favorite Reynolds, probably. It's not quite rewatchable because it is a descent into hell, but what a tremendous film.
It's number 1 for me. This
Oh,
is
okay.
this is everything for me. Like, it's a descent into hell, but no movie makes me feel better or worse at any given scene. Like, there's so much. It's all about found family in the movie, and like you get that sense of warmth in there and the journey they go
It's
on,
in
and
there.
like you slide. It's like there's so. I mean, the movie's hilarious. All the performances you're getting out of just random side characters. Don Cheadle's incredible in this, but also there's heartbreaking stuff in there as well. Like there's
Mhm.
incredibly sad moments in this movie. But man, I love the ride. I love the ensemble atmosphere when they're together early on, like in the middle of the movie, partying at the house before it turns into the 80s. There's just nothing better. Like there's the tracking shot down through the pool, comes back up is just one of my favorite shots in film history. John C. Riley and Mark Wahlberg have so much chemistry in this. Like I actually want the Brock Landers movies to come out so I can watch them because I want to support it further. I love this movie.
It feels like such an homage to Goodfellas. When you watch it now, you're just like that first
Yep.
hour, you're just like, "Oh, we're doing Goodfellas in the porn world with like, but,
Hmm.
the younger guys at the center of it." But like slowly the insidious nature of the world that they're in creeps into it. It's a brilliant film. I love it. Okay, number 2 for me, or no, number 3 for you, sorry.
Oh, I already did my number 3 was Licorice Pizza, and
Licorice
then
Pizza, so
yep,
we're on 2. Got
on
you.
2,
Uh,
my number 2 is There Will Be Blood. You can't
Same.
have a Paul Thomas Anderson list and not have There Will Be Blood on it.
Here we go, and here
Like,
we line up. I knew we'd line up somewhere in there, but
it's
yeah,
it's it's kinda like Shakespeare where you're kinda looking for a window to get in and access it and understand what makes it so brilliant, and then once you, like, step through that window, the whole world is unveiled to you. Because like, it can be there's a high barrier to entry in this. I mean, the first, what,
yeah,
15, 17 minutes are silent, which is a
nothing is
bold
said.
thing to do. Nothing is said, nothing's going
Also
on.
might be the best part of the movie.
It's
So good.
visceral, it's nasty, it's in your face, it's unflinching, it's hard to watch, it's gruesome, it's funny, it's everything mixed together. It's one of the best films I've ever seen by an American filmmaker this century.
We are doing tonight what we call a perfect film. This is a perfect film. This one
Yep.
would have been eligible for us. Probably not like a crowd pleaser. This one is, like you said,
No.
difficult barrier to entry. Not everyone's going to love this. But once you get over the threshold and you realize, oh, this is a masterpiece, it's very difficult to look away. You
Yeah.
want performances, you want set pieces, you want a master craftsman, brilliant editing, score, dramatic beats, tension. It has everything. Like you said, nobody says anything for the first 15 minutes and it's captivating. You cannot look away. And it's funny too, unintentionally funny, like a lot of these PTA movies, because he has a great sense of humor, but he has like our sense of humor, except
Mhm.
drier and more sardonic. So it's kind of hidden in these movies, but this one is hilarious on rewatch. And I love that with like some of my favorite movies, like I laughed my ass off in The Departed and the movie I'm going to talk about at number one. And
The
this
fact that
movie,
I yell, "I've abandoned my child!" I mean, way
I'm not
too
gonna
often.
like. We probably shouldn't be laughing at that moment, but
Me especially now that
I
I have a
drink your
child.
milkshake. Yeah, goes all the way over here.
It's oh, just it's so good, so incredible. We already know my number one is Boogie Nights. What's your number one?
Come on now. One battle after another. It was the one. It's been a slow build for me with PTA. Like I had to work up to it. And I think this one is him in full control of his faculties. Once again, has Leo, who, if he's not my favorite, he's my second favorite. And it's Leo well used. Something both Once Upon a Time in Hollywood and One Battle have in common is like neurotic Leo is the best Leo.
Yeah,
And they absolutely know how to use him. Benicio's incredible in it. It does have some fat, so like it's possible this one doesn't move any higher for me, and maybe it moves down, and eventually, I put Boogie something could move ahead of it. But when this movie cooks, it cooks at such a high level. It's cooking at the perfect temperature. It hits all of my notes. Flawed movie, and probably could cut 20 minutes of Sean Penn on rewatch, and I'd be fine. It's a lot of Sean Penn. But every time Leo, Chase Infinity, and Benicio are on screen, this is a perfect film. Love it.
yeah.
Absolutely love it. Five
When
stars.
this movie's at its highest, it's as high as anything you're gonna see. Like there's like, especially the scene, there's like more or less a chase scene right in the middle of the movie that is just so exciting.
Perfect.
You're on the edge of your seat, but you're also laughing at the same time. There's so much going on. I don't know how everything was managed so just smooth, under control. Like it all flows so naturally, completely where you are. All the stakes are firmly on the table. Just a very fun ride. I was glad it was honored with Best Picture last year.
It deserved it. It absolutely deserved it. And if you wanted to tell me that There Will Be Blood is a better movie, I'm not going to sit here and argue with you. It
Yeah.
probably is. I just love this movie. So it's my favorite. That was the question. And it was a great question. And what a great lead in to
Stronger
tonight's
top five though.
conversation. Oh, you're right. The second part of it. You go first.
I Oh man, it's a lose-lose. It's what it feels like. I lean Tarantino out of taste. Out of taste. I could see more hardcore film people leaning towards PTA because of some of the higher end of like the master. There Will Be Blood and things like that. But for me, especially if you go a little bit deeper into Quentin Tarantino's bench, more of those movies I enjoy than PTA's bench.
Yeah, PTA's bench, but the difference being PTA is still going, is going to keep going. So let's
Yes.
revisit this conversation. Whereas
Yep.
Quentin Tarantino's pretentious and is like, I'm done. I agree with your bench conversation, but that's not going to last long.
No.
That really isn't going to last long. Like it's a difference of a couple movies. Licorice Pizza didn't make my list, and I'm bummed about that. I would love to get Reservoir Dogs, and Django doesn't really. I don't need to rewatch Django. I like Django. I don't love it. Reservoir Dogs, I think, is more my speed.
Yeah.
But then beyond that, like which Tarantino are you itching to get back on the
Kill Bill
rewatch?
one.
I don't love the Kill Bills. Not for me. I didn't grow up with the kung fu thing, so
Yeah, I
it's
like
just
Kill
not my
Bill
jam.
1 a lot, but I mean, it's also it. I mean, unless you count Death Proof, he's
If
only
that's
made
it,
nine movies, so it's a little tougher.
right? Like if PTA comes out with one more good one, does this flip? Probably. Like one more good one, and it probably flips.
It's in there.
It's
I mean, because
close. Like
but
it's
again though,
very
like
close.
PTA could also come out with Inherent Vice again, a movie I didn't enjoy at all.
No, yeah, I agree with you there, and I absolutely did not like.
That not I did not. That
Did
was
not
just
Phantom Thread. I did not like Phantom Thread. Hated it.
yeah.
So
It's like
there's
it's interesting to me. I guess so. We're kind of getting at PTA can give you a higher high, but he can also give you a lower low.
Well, I didn't like the, Death Proof either from Tarantino, so he's got one that I
Well,
won't
that's not. I
revisit.
mean,
It's
that's
a weird collab thing, yeah,
the exploitation. Yeah, that's it's
yeah,
a grindhouse pick. So it's a little bit.
it
I don't
is.
even count it really in the run.
If you were on a deserted island and you could only pick one of these top 5s to have on Blu-ray to entertain you, I think I agree. I think I'd go Tarantino.
Yeah, yeah. I could see the case for either way, but I'd lean Tarantino personally.
I would lean Tarantino, but Once Upon a Time versus One Battle is a lot of fun. Like, there's some fun battles in there.
That's you.
Um,
That's like having your children fight over each other.
it is tough.
Once upon a
In
time
One
versus
Battle?
one battle. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. All right, great questions and a great lead in to tonight's conversation about one of our all time favorite films. Cannot wait to get into this. It is our third ever A Perfect Film. And what a choice. What a choice by you in honor of your firstborn. We are going to talk about Master and Commander, The Far Side of the World, right after this. All right, we are back. We are righteous men and we are excited. This is our third ever perfect film, a segment that we created, more than a segment, because this is a long form podcast that we do when there's not much going on with sports because we are movie fanatics, my friend. And I'm excited about the one we have to talk about tonight.
One of my all-time favorite movies. You kind of lob this one over the plate for me. Welcome my new son into the world. You're like, you know what,
Mhm.
Andy? You get to pick the movie this year. Go ahead. It's one of my favorites. I think it's my number two all time on my top 100 list, and that is Master and Commander: The Far Side of the World. And I know it's not too far down on your list as well.
It is my number three, and I'm glad you picked this because the other one that was in consideration was Back to the Future, also in my top 100, but much further down. I think you value that one higher than I do. This is a shared love when we get together, which is rare anymore. But this is one of the ones that we throw on, and
Oh,
we'll
yeah.
we'll discuss other movies. We'll be like, "What about this?" Like I've been wanting to show you Triple R. Where do we end up again? We always come back to the HMS Surprise, Captain Jack, Lucky Jack, Master and Commander, a perfect film. This was the choice. It had to be the choice.
This was supposed to be last week, and you and I were so excited to do it. We talked about it on Sunday, gotten some notes together, and then all of a sudden, Dusty May leaves Michigan. It's like, well, okay, guess we're going to pivot now. So he felt especially bitter last week. Now you know why.
I can't go from talking about how upset Ward Manuel makes me to talking about how happy Paul Bettany makes me chasing down iguanas in this movie. Like they're totally different vibes, and I needed to be in the right headspace to talk about this tremendous film, and I'm glad we waited. And we are going to give it its justice. We made producer Tony watch this one. You and I rewatched it. This is currently free on YouTube, you just told me. So if you haven't seen this movie, you don't really have any excuse. This one I had to own in 4K. This is in my top 10. This will never leave my top 10.
No.
This will never leave. I don't think it'll leave my top five, to be honest. It's that cemented for me as an all time favorite. So let's talk about this film, the 2003 masterpiece directed by Peter Weir, based on the Patrick O'Brien series, which I just bought, by the way.
Let's
Got the
go.
first three books sitting behind me because I was really enjoying getting into this, and I can't wait to read the books. Tells the story of the British frigate, the HMS Surprise, and her crew as Captain Jack Aubrey, portrayed by Russell Crowe, duels with a French captain of the Acheron during the Napoleonic Wars, also starring Paul Bettany, James Darcy, and Billy Boyd. The movie cost 150 million to make, earned 212 worldwide. It won Peter Weir the BAFTA for Best Direction and was nominated in 10 categories for Academy Awards. Andy, I'll start here. What is your relation to this film, and why do you love this film?
I saw this movie when I was 11 in theaters. I remember my parents kind of forced me against my will. They're like, you're going to see this. And I thank them for it because you're going in. I hadn't heard much about it. I thought the title was very weird. Didn't
Mhm.
get it. You're 11. This is like right around Spider-Man's coming out. That's all I'm thinking about. I saw this movie. I was riveted from the title card. Like everything about this movie just done at the highest level. I mean, you could go from the direction, the casting, the acting, the production design, the costume design, cinematography, the score, the pacing, the action, the chemistry. You get the idea. You don't realize all of that at the time when you see it, but as you watch it the first time as a kid and you grow up with it, you learn to appreciate different aspects of the movie, and everything holds up to interrogation. And not only does it hold up, it just gets better every time you
Mhm.
watch it.
A key feature of a lot of the movies that we've done. So we've done The Fugitive and The Mummy on this one. Movies that we want to rewatch, I
Yeah.
think is probably more what this is. We couldn't steal the title from the rewatchables, but we can pay homage to the format here. And that's why we revisit this movie all the time. You've got me there. I did not see this one in theaters. Got this one on DVD. Yes, I believe it was DVD, one of the first DVDs we had when I was in high school. My dad bought this one. He loves this movie. So shout out, Dad, for getting me into this one. And it became a staple. And the more I got into movies, the more I appreciated this one. Of the movies that we've done, this one is a film. And
Yeah.
let me explain myself there. Those are movies like Fugitive is great. I mean, it has Academy Award nominations attached to it, but it's a lot of fun. It's campy at times. It could play on TNT and have commercial breaks, and that makes sense. This is a capital F film. This is a real movie here. You don't want commercial breaks in this one. There's real craftsmanship. There is real set pieces, there's real design, there's real acting in this one. And not that there isn't in The Mummy. We are not here to disparage the previous two movies we've done, but this is a film, brother. This one holds up.
I think this movie does or accomplishes a rare feat where you see movies like The Shawshank Redemption and Goodfellas also pull off, where it's simultaneously both. It's a film and it's a movie. It has all the
Yes.
high level stuff, but it's very simple storytelling. It's very straightforward. And simple doesn't mean rudimentary. It's just straightforward. You know the plot. You don't have to overthink it. They're not talking down to you. There is no pandering at all in this movie. It is what it is. And it's an exciting adventure from start to finish. And I think balancing that high wire act of being a movie. This is why we go to the movies, but also being a film and having that very nuanced intersection is such a rare achievement.
Totally agree. I also noticed some other similarities from the other movies that we chose. Cat and Mouse. This is very
Hmm.
much a cat and mouse story, much like The Fugitive. A globe trotting type of thing. Now,
Yep.
you don't really go across the globe in The Fugitive, but you change locations. You're going from
Yeah.
city to city. You're in different buildings and like dramatically different scenes. You're always on this boat in this one, but you are up and down. They're off the coast of Brazil
Yep.
mostly. So they're in South America and they encounter this ship, the Acheron, a French ship that's attempting to make headway into their shipping lanes where they have like whaling fleets and stuff. So it's a really unique period of time that the author Patrick O'Brien chose to center everything on this crew and this captain and this one ship. He doesn't care about the greater conflict. There is no mention of what's going on with the war, what's going back on with England. Like it is centered on this ship. It is this cat and mouse story between, Russell Crowe and Paul Bettany, who are your two leads, and the Acheron, which they call the Phantom, which is great because you don't really see it. It's got some
Hmm.
Jaws energy there that you don't really see this enemy ship until late in the film.
It's just set up so perfectly too. Like you talk about the title card, and then it goes right into the admiral's orders, and those are essentially the audience's orders. That's what we were following along, and it's very simple. It's pursue the Acheron. What is it? Sink her, take her a prize. There was
Take her a
something.
prize.
Take her a
Yeah.
prize. Like we're off and running. Here we go.
Yeah.
That's the whole movie. It's centered around more or less, three encounters with the Acheron, and it's just paced beautifully in between there with a lot of stuff mixed in that doesn't need to be mixed in, but adds layers to the story.
Great point. It takes its time.
Yep.
This movie is like, we're happy to go gallivant in the Galapagos Islands for a little bit. We're happy to spend 20 minutes in the officers' quarters, talking about old times at sea and playing music. It takes its time, but then when it hits and it gets into the set pieces and the action drives up, it's as good as anything. Um, I have a hot take. I have 2 hot takes. I'll do hot take number 1 right here.
Fire.
This is a better movie than Gladiator.
Ah,
I think it's a
damn
better I think
you!
Oh, I'm sorry. All right, well, then let's talk about it. It's a better use of Russell Crowe than
Oh,
in Gladiator, and it's a better movie than Gladiator.
I literally have at the bottom of this hot take. This is Russell Crowe's best movie, even better than Gladiator, and one of the best movies of the last 30
All right.
years.
Well, we've got other hot takes to come, so we'll
It's
let you get it in, but it's true, right?
it's when you watch Gladiator again, it's still awesome,
Mhm.
but
Not to disparage Gladiator. That's
not
not
to
what we're here
disparage,
to
but
do. Good movie.
this is not an either or by any means. This is just better Crow. You're getting everything in this Crow performance. You're getting more charisma, more humor mixed in, like which is really just a valuable resource sprinkled into his interactions with Paul Bettany. You're getting incredible chemistry with so many smaller actors, especially at the time from him. I just think you're getting a five-tool prospect from Russell Crowe in this movie.
I love that. 5-tool prospect brings it all. He's the heart of the film while also being the machismo.
Yep.
He's like the true hero. I mean, he comes in and absolutely wrecks shop with some swordsmanship late in this movie. He's a badass, but like cares for his crew. There's no doubt about it. This is my favorite use of Russell Crowe. I think it's the best Russell Crowe movie overall. Here's another question for you. Did Russell Crowe actually have the belt in the early 2000s? So I'll run this off for you. It starts with The Quick and the Dead in 1997. Then he gets cast opposite Denzel in Virtuosity for the first time, not the last time he would be cast opposite Denzel. Not a great movie, but you're opposite Denzel in an action movie.
Mhm.
And then it's LA Confidential in 97, and we're off. He rattles off Mystery Alaska. I love that movie. The Insider, Gladiator, Proof of Life, A Beautiful Mind, Master and Commander, Cinderella Men, 310 to Yuma, American Gangster, and Body of Lies. That might be the belt for that period of time,
It's an
or at least
incredible
for some
run.
of it.
It's an incredible run, especially in the meat of it, from like Gladiator to through Cinderella. Man, I love 310 to Yuma. That's such an
I love that
underrated
too.
movie. That's such an
Agreed.
underrated movie.
Agreed.
And there's so many different crows in this range. Like he's not just playing the same person, not being typecast. I mean, yes, there are
No.
similarities in him being a movie star, but his character in 310 to Yuma is far from Captain Jack Aubrey.
Yeah. And A Beautiful Mind, the one he won the Oscar for, give me a break.
Also
I
with
mean,
Paul Bettany.
with Paul Bettany. This guy's got range. Seems like he was a little tricky to work with, a little
Yeah.
cantankerous, and as known for been getting in some fights with some people. But the career continues. Like even after those movies, I said The Nice Guys is probably my second favorite Russell Crowe movie. Like I might even put that ahead of Gladiator. And again, I love Gladiator. It's
Yeah.
an amazing movie. But we're just talking about this actor who has just a great list. I mean, this IMDb holds up with anybody, man. And maybe could it have been a little better? Could he have held off on the drinking and extended his prime a little bit? Potentially, but this is as high of highs as you're going to get with Master and Commander, Gladiator, an Academy Award win, and then other movies like 310 to Yuma in there that we have, American Gangster, other movies that we really like.
Have you seen Nuremberg?
I have. I watched that one on a plane. He's good in that. He's still good, man. The guy's
Yeah.
still got it.
I heard Nuremberg's pretty good. Like, not,
It
like,
was
great, but
fine.
I heard it's pretty good. Like, got
Does
some.
have Rami Malek in it. I know how you feel
Yeah.
about
But
him.
it's
Yeah.
got Michael Shannon and John Slattery with him as well, so it's like, it's
Yeah.
got some heavies in there. So, like, he's still popping up every now and again. It's just few and far between, especially from the Crow we grew up with. And I feel like Master and Commander is really the zenith. I mean, I feel like most people would say Gladiator, but, like, this is the continuation of it, and here it's like season tickets to Russell Crowe after this performance. This movie
It
just
is.
it puts it in a whole other stratosphere.
It's not the most handsome he's been. Like Brad Pitt looks the best in Troy, but the best use of Brad Pitt is probably like Fight Club or Once Upon a Time in Hollywood or something.
Yes.
And it's similar to that. Like they knew exactly how to use Russell Crowe in this movie, and he is utilized perfectly. I really feel connected to the character. Like you honestly feel like you're part of the crew when you watch this one. So
Yeah, speak to
this
that
movie.
for a second. I mean, you were in the Navy.
Yeah, absolutely. I have it on things that have aged the best, and that this movie, and it's one of the reasons that I love this movie, is I don't know that any movie other than Das Boot got the feeling of being on a ship more correctly than this. The way that like there are the officers' quarters and there are the enlisted quarters, and there's different conversations and different drinks and different moods and different lightings and different people, but when things get tough and there's stressful situations, you all work together and all that goes away. And you feel that in this movie. And it does feel like even though I was in the Navy 140 something years later, there's so many through lines in it, and it feels like something familiar to me.
They I feel like from an outsider's perspective, they captured the camaraderie as well as the
Mhm.
misery. Like you feel the good and the bad, but you don't get weighed down in either. I think one of the most important scenes in this movie is after the officers' dinner, they come up onto the deck and the crewmates are singing, and then Mr. Hollum joins them. But Captain Jack Aubrey's looking down on him like, no, you can't do that because you can't cross those lines between an
Mhm.
officer and just a random crewmate on there, and you see the divide. It's almost like a class divide on the ship, and you see that, but you also see how he balances those relationships and how much it means to the crew, and he just gives them a compliment or an extra ration of rum.
Yeah, absolutely, man. And another thing about being out on a ship, and it's so different, and particularly now in a very connected world, whatever happens on the ship, that's your world. So,
Yeah.
like, one thing that happens, like, hey, did you hear so and so got in trouble for like missing their watch? Everyone knows about it. Everyone's talking about it. That's what the ship is focused on. We don't care what's happening on the mainland. There is no talk about what's happening on the mainland. It is you, it is your crew, it is like what's happening on that ship. So when things are going bad and like the way that they're all gossiping and stuff, like very real. All felt very real to me. And they really nailed that. Let's talk about Peter Weir, the director of this film. Not a director that you and I talk about a lot, but this is quite a run.
So
I think we
good, man.
probably should, dude. Like Peter Weir directed this movie, and if you don't know who Peter Weir is, I'm not going to blame you. But starting in 1981, Gallipoli, which is a hard hitting, really good movie, Year of Living Dangerously, Witness, Mosquito Coast, both with Harrison Ford, Dead Poets Society, The Truman Show, Master and Commander, and then The Way Back in 2010, and then
Done.
that's it. And then that's it. Um, Most underdiscussed great director is Dead Poets, Truman Show, and Master and Commander as good of a top three as anybody out there?
That's pretty good, man. And that's such an interesting top three as well, because you have The Truman Show and Dead Poets both casting against type at the top. Because you
Yes.
have Jim Carrey and Robin Williams both taking a serious turn. But in Master and Commander, you have Russell Crowe at the height of his power. Machismo,
Right.
machismo, a man's man, Oscar winner. And you're still finding ways for him to find the goods. It's kind of like he always inverts the expectations by, like, with Russell Crowe, he finds the comedy, finds the charm and everything in that performance. And with Carey and Williams, he found the serious. And all that balance, I think, is really well done. Even with Harrison Ford coming from more of a comedic background by the time he did Witness. I mean, when he popped up in American Graffiti or being the comic relief throughout the Star Wars trilogy, it's like he's, jumping for a joke. Even Indiana Jones has the one liners and things like that.
Yeah.
Witness, very serious movie. Very different kind of
Yes.
movie for him. And just, I don't know, man. It's very interesting. I don't know if he was a little overshadowed. He kind of came in a wave of people. George Miller also came from Australia, but he was also overshadowed by a Kiwi from New Zealand named Peter Jackson, who won Best Director and every other Oscar this year for The Return of the King.
That's a really good point. Is did he get market corrected and should he have been market corrected? Because look, if all you did in your life was one of Dead Poets, Truman Show, or Master and Commander, you're someone that we're going to talk about. He did all three. So I think he is one of the more under discussed. That's a crazy top three. You talked about like how different those movies are tonally. That's an insane difference between Truman Show and Master and Commander.
Yeah.
Like very difficult for me to find some through lines there that connect those two movies. Very impressive work by him. And yet they all have heart. And that's something that I love in movies. And like, I absolutely bawled my eyes out in Dead Poet Society. That movie
Mhm.
wrecked me. So, in Truman Show, like, depending on how you're watching it, is a very sad but beautiful movie. This movie that we're talking about tonight, I don't think is sad and beautiful. I think this movie is like a rollicking good time with the boys.
It's
You know,
triumphant.
that's more it is triumphant. So that brings me to the big picture question before we get into the categories. What makes this a perfect film?
I just think it's everything we discussed. It brings everything for somebody to relate to that you can appreciate. It's an easy watch. Like we were talking about PTA movies in the mailbag. There's high barriers to entry. You can't just bring a random person and be like, hey, watch The Master with me. Like, just not a may not be the best time, or at least
Right.
certainly not the most comfortable. But with Master and Commander, I feel like it's one of the easiest selling points. Be like, just watch the first 10 minutes. If you're not in, you can walk away. And it has one of the best tests of like, all right, 10 minutes, maybe even 20 minutes for this one, because that first battle scene extends a little bit. First 20 minutes. If you want to walk away, you can. I bet 90% of the people sit down and watch the rest of it.
Well said. I said for my first point, this is a bros night kind of film, but anybody that loves movies can watch this. It
Yeah.
is a dude's movie. There are not many women in this movie. I'm not going to sit here and lie to you about that. This is a crew on board a ship in the Napoleonic War. There were no women on the ship. So period wise, they nailed that. But this might not be the one to be like, come on, honey, we're watching Master and Commander tonight. That being said, if your wife or girlfriend does like this, if she's your girlfriend, marry her. If she's your wife, buy her that Toyota she's been wanting. Because this is a movie lover's movie. Like we said, it's another cat and mouse film, but in this one, the mouse gets the gun. I love when the mouse gets the gun. You can't say like it's an easy watch, despite the fact that you and I think this is a bubbly, fun watch. They saw off a child's arm in this. Like
Yeah.
kids die in this movie, and yet it doesn't feel dark. That is really saying something to be period accurate, to be like, this is basically how it was, but you don't feel that sense of like weight. like when you're
No.
watching Saving Private Ryan, where you're
Mhm.
like, this is how it was, and we need to have a reverence for this. I don't rewatch Saving Private Ryan because I'm like, this is going to be tough. I'm going to feel something. In this one, it feels triumphant, like you said. I really like how you said that. Like, it's more of a fun, rollicking ride, despite the fact that it's pretty accurate to what was going on at the time.
It really relates to the novels in that way. It has that tonality where it's adventures. It's adventures between these 2 best friends that just happen to be the ship's doctor and the ship's captain and everything that transpires.
It's so great, man. Next thing that I had written, the score, the music, sound design, the
Good
fact
God.
that it's filmed on the open sea with big replica ships,
On
and when they're
film,
not
on
on the
35
yes, on
millimeter
the
film.
film, not digital, and when they are filming, they're in the same tanks that they use for the freaking Titanic, the biggest tanks ever built at that time. So it is tactile. It is real. You are on this ship. Forget a green screen. There's not a
Yeah.
green screen. I don't think there's CGI in this movie, is there?
It would have to be minimal. I mean, just like little stuff
Yeah.
digitally taken out, but that's it, man. I couldn't spot anything in this. And again, I'm overlooking something, but I don't think I am. And the more I dug into the research, they put such a concerted effort into making this look real, and it looks fantastic.
Yeah, that's why when I was trying to come up with comps for this movie, I found myself going like Dunkirk, Saving Private Ryan, other war movies, despite the fact that that tonality is not there at all. Like
Yeah.
tonally, it's closer to something, say, like I don't even want to say
Let's think Butch and
The
Sundance, a
Last of
little
the
bit like that.
Mohicans. That's better. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's better. Where at the core of it, it's about these two guys. Yeah,
Mhm.
that's a really good one there. Um, all right, my last thing that I said that made this movie classical, the dialogue,
It's incredible.
it is so like of that era, which I would consider like the classical era. It sounds like poetry at times. I wish this is how people talked.
Every time I watch this movie, I'm inspired to go write, and I'm just writing about nonsense like
Yes,
Cover 2 and Bryce Underwood's development, but I
not
sit down and
nonsense.
I'm just like, "Man, the way they phrase this or the way they do this, it's just it's musical." So, like, music's a big theme in this movie, where the score and the characters also play music together, but the dialogue kind of flows like music at times. Like, it just there's beats to it. It flows, it's natural. There's no dry moments, no off notes. Like, it all just goes so well together and flows scene to scene. And it changes too because the officers speak entirely differently than the crew members.
I'm just imagining you trying to write about Trey Pierce, and you're like, "I'm gonna compare him to, like, this 1970s D tackle," and then you're like, "Nonsense! I'll name you after a great shrub or a tortoise,
It's
Tortuga Pierce."
it's even just like the little moments when he is showing the book to the kid after surgery, and he's like, "Yes, some great illustrations of his battles," and just saying the word illustrations instead of pictures. Little things like that.
Little things like that. I have that moment down later in the next category, which I think we can head to now. All right, what is the best scene in this movie? Would you like me to give you some options before we get into it?
Yeah, go ahead. I'm not gonna cut you off.
All right.
Let's relive.
All right. All right. I'll roll off a couple options here, and then we'll discuss as we see fit. This is one of the best opening sequences to a movie ever. Pure propulsion. Once they beat to quarters, we're off. Should we pause here for a moment?
Yeah, dude, because my first note I wrote down God, our brains need to be studied. Like, I wrote down the opening 20 minutes are immaculate. The title card, the admiral's orders with the ship's specs, soul counts, and location into the lantern shot showing the ship, including cannons named Jumping Billy and Sudden Death, leading
Let's
into the
go.
shift change and ultimately into the opening battle sequence is flawless.
Dude, is that sports guy coded that you're naming your cannon? Like, we would
Yes.
for sure name our cannon.
Well,
Guaranteed.
they have the practice scene of them shooting with the cannons
Yeah.
later in the movie for accuracy. It feels like a sports movie.
It's sports movie. Yes, I was gonna
Let's
bring that up as a hot take. That's my hot take number 2 is there's sports movie in there
let's
when
go.
it's just like the better aim, and it's like, well, better aim, that's like shooting a basketball, or
Yeah.
that's like being a kicker or being an accurate quarterback. Like, aim is the thing, like, we need to hit the main mast. That's a sports movie, guys. Sorry, I know we're at war. Absolutely love it. Is this the best opening scene in a movie?
Oh God, that's so tough.
I put it right up there with Spielberg's, opening on Omaha Beach in Saving Private Ryan, but I think it's on that level.
Yeah, I mean, I don't have any prep done for this. One that comes to mind, it's gonna feel a little like a tier below. The Dark Knight opening scene is
I have The Dark
incredible.
Knight in here. No, I had a couple
Yeah,
written down. Yeah, I had The Dark Knight in there. I had so you said the ones, so even
yeah,
without any prep. Like, but it's on that level, right?
yep.
Like, so whether it's the best or not, like that's the
It's
level we're talking about.
It's just so subtle too because the you don't see the main characters until a few minutes in. Like the first one, it goes
Mhm.
black again and then comes back with Killick getting a chicken out, and it's kind of an adjustment because the new shift is starting, and then beat to quarters and everything changes. But it's like it's so subtle and calm, and I think they really just capture the spirit of everything going on in that moment.
And the way they do the needle drop of the intro of Captain Jack Aubrey, played by Russell Crowe, it's like, "Oh, are we doing like a score, like a soundtrack?" But then you're like, "Oh, no, that's actually the music that they're playing." But it hits in such a way that it sounds like you're watching A Knight's Tale, where
Yeah,
you're just like, "Oh, the music is here just as like to have fun." But you're like, "No, that's actually the," and they line it up, and you are like, "We are off, brother. We are off and running." This movie wastes no time. um, I don't wanna spoil it. This might end up winning best scene in the movie.
it's like as soon as every time I watch, I'm blown away by how good the introduction
It's
is.
so good,
But
dude.
there
It's
are
one of the best
several other great
introductions of all
scenes.
time.
Yeah.
Yes, all right, so we'll keep going through them. All right, you mentioned one earlier. Captain Jack visits Lieutenant Blakely after surgery, reads him the book about Admiral Nelson. This is where the heart of the movie really comes in.
Yeah.
Love this scene.
Yeah, the interaction here, we're gonna talk about, Sir Blakeney a little bit later in here as well, but tremendous scene. It just I mean, it
Really
gives you
good.
the duality of the captain.
Yeah, and if you haven't seen this movie, I recommend you go watch this movie. I'm telling you now, 30 minutes into this, go watch this and then listen to this. But if not, listen to this and go watch for this. Blakeney, one of the great child performances I've ever seen.
Ever.
Or yeah, they've got young kids on the ship, which was true of these ships back in the Napoleonic era. And really well done by him. All right, next up, I just wrote any shot of the ship with the crew is mesmerizing. Anything of them going up and down the rigging, any long shot of the ship, there's multiple because this was filmed out at sea. It's beautiful, beautiful to look at
Incredible.
this movie. Yeah,
You did Well, I mentioned earlier, it's on film, it looks incredible, and the fact that it's on
so good, dude.
location, out at sea, and then even the big tank shots, you can't tell, it's so well done. You're just like, "I just wanna stare at this." Like, this is incredible.
Yes. It's like a painting, the
Yeah,
whole thing, and there's a lot of them early on in the film. Next up, I wrote racing up and down the rigging. So this is specific to Russell Crowe and James Darcy, who's his
yep.
first mate, which is great where they're racing. I cry foul! You started early. Just showing like it's such a little moment, but this movie is so good at putting little moments in to be like, no, these people are friends.
Yep.
Like this is a crew. Like they hang out. And like while Russell Crowe can't be friends with the crew, he's boys with the officers. Like these are his boys. Love that little detail.
I love you put that scene in there. It's so minor, so little bit. I love
Yes.
it too. They're just having a good time.
Yeah, they're just racing, having a good old time there. Next up, I've got the Galapagos detour. First time we go to the Galapagos Islands. You get the only women that are in this movie, some of the women that are trading goods, but you also just get a great little shot of Russell Crowe reading a letter from his beloved wife.
Mhm.
And then right after that, there's a beautiful woman making eyes at him. And he's so good at just in a look saying, like, it'd be so nice to be able to do that, but I have a duty. Really good stuff.
Yeah, a true man of honor moment, just
Yeah.
like with no words, no exposition.
And you're in the Galapagos again,
Yep.
filmed on location. We are in the Galapagos. Next up, come on now, the dinner sequence with the Lord Nelson anecdote. I love anything with all the officers in these dinner sequences. Very Game of Thrones, like good actors talking around a table, and it's as good as anything else in the movie.
I have every dinner scene just written
Every
down.
dinner scene is on the list.
Every dinner scene. It's just, can we trouble you for an anecdote? Just again, saying it like that speaks to the dialogue. It's not just, can you tell us a story about it? Can you got anything? No, trouble you for an anecdote, and then Russell Crowe just goes into two of the best stories.
Dude, and like 4 of these actors in here are capital A actors. There's
Yeah,
like real actors in here too. And oh, it is just so good. And he's talking about Admiral Nelson, who, if you're a fan of military history, is arguably the greatest naval military figure in British history. So like it's really cool. And like this guy served with him. So everyone is just enamored with his stories. And they do a good job. You know, it's like when we were like, I had the occasion on once to interview Desmond Howard. He spoke to me on 2 times. The first time, I'll never forget it. He looked over at me and he said, it appears your microphone is on mute. The second time Desmond Howard spoke to me, he approached me on the podcast and he said, you'll never experience a greater feeling than winning at the greatest, highest level. And would it have been from any other man, you would cry, oh, pitiful stuff. But coming from Desmond Howard, you believed it.
That was fantastic. That was so good.
All right, next up, I've got this is the second time he's done this to me, and the chase leading with the this is your first command, where if you haven't
Mr.
seen this movie,
Calamy.
that won't make much sense. Mr. Calamy, yes, absolutely, where he basically tricks the pursuing ship into following a dummy ship that they rig up right then and there. Brilliant stuff. Such good
It's
cat and mouse.
so clever. I love the decoy ship. I love him telling Mr. Calamy this is your first assignment, sends him out there and brings him back in. Oh, just brilliant. Just so clever.
It's so good, dude. Next up, we'll talk about this in greatest quote: "Turning the tides, bring us up on her tail." They lose her in the dark and come up on her tail, and then the mouse gets the gun. The pursuit of the Acheron into the storm. Great set pieces once again. Like it's set piece after set piece here in the middle of this movie.
They just keep stacking them on top of each other. And I don't know. The pacing is something I always come back to because I just don't know how it's executed so perfectly. I keep forgetting things are in this movie every time I come back. Even just even the dark stuff that's put in there that has to be in there. It's done so well and is a good interjection. So the lighter stuff does not become stale.
Completely with you. Next up, we already mentioned it, anything at dinner, but then they sing a song that naval, like anyone in the Navy still sings today. So this one really hits for me. Safe at sound and home again. Let the waters roar, Jack. They are all singing drunk as hell. I love that the officers are getting hammered
Yes.
too. Like that's great. That's so much fun. That makes it feels like a boys movie when it's
Yeah.
like the boys are all in there, they're all singing songs together, telling stories. That gives it a very like bros movie feel, and that scene is very much for the boys.
Just, again, the camaraderie, like you can feel it. The chemistry is insane because at the time, Crow's the star. Everyone else is just still trying to come onto the scene, like Bettany a little bit higher up than some, but the rest of these guys, not the big names at the times. Like if you're doing this movie
No.
now, you're casting bigger names in those roles, and I don't know if it has the same effect.
Yeah, Bettany goes on to get the Avengers movies, but he was not that Paul Bettany at this time. And even still,
No.
like, would even most Avengers fans be able to pick him out because he played the robot and was just
Yeah.
like the voice?
It's
Like,
like if
I
you have
mean,
a relationship with a Knight's Tale, maybe, but that's about it.
yeah. And you and I have a great relationship with that movie as well. So Paul Bettany probably a little higher on our totem pole than
Yeah.
for other people, but he's really great in this movie as well. And then the last one, of course, the closing sequence, the final battle, which they build up greatly. I just love the build up to it. The fact that their time spent on the Galapagos Islands observing bugs gives them the idea to attack the Acheron. And then also Russell Crowe and Paul Bettany are kind of like wrecking shop. They're like badasses down below with the swords.
Yeah, I was gonna say every scene with Russell Crowe and Paul Bettany speaking to each other in this movie is rewatchable. Like
Uh,
one of the best scenes,
well
especially
said.
when there's a power dynamic on the ship or something that Crowe must do in the name of duty, and Steven has to give him the pushback. It's just so well executed. Again, the dialogue is so brilliant. And two other scenes I would add to favorite scenes. Again, the cannonball practice and
Mm.
the trek across the Galapagos when he sees the Acheron on the other side.
Oh, I
Like
had that written down, but didn't say it. Thank you.
oh, like that
Second trek across
the
the
reveal
Galapagos.
of
Yeah.
the Acheron, like the music really tenses up, and you're like, "Why is it tensing up? Is he gonna fall or something?" And then all of a sudden, the Acheron comes out with the French flag, and it's like, and we're off. We're off and run,
It's
literally off and
so
running.
good. Literally, yes, absolutely. Great call too. Another thing that we didn't mention is that the characters of Paul Bettany and Russell Crowe's characters play music together, and they
Yes.
use the music they play throughout the score. So
Yeah.
the use of music in this movie is it's unparalleled. It is so good. for being a movie with no like needle drops. You know, this isn't like Once Upon a Time in Hollywood where it's just like,
Mhm.
oh, nice, the Guess Who. Like these are all like these are all like waltzes written in the 1800s, and it's amazing how
Beautiful
they use
music.
them. So,
Yeah.
all right, well said here. All right, first category: what has aged the best about this movie?
Everything?
You're not
Um,
wrong.
More specifically, we have to start here. Title cards. April
Let's go.
1805. Napoleon is master of Europe. Only the British fleet stands before him. Oceans are now battlefields. Holy hell. Whoever wrote that, I mean, did your pen just catch a blaze? Like, did it just go off? Like, it's incredible
It's
stuff. And,
unheard
like,
of.
oh man, it's so good. It sets the tone for everything in this movie.
And here's the thing, title cards suck.
They do.
Normally, title cards are the worst thing that you could do. And not only is the one in this movie good, it's a banger. I've seen people get this tattooed on their backs. There are coffee mugs with this. There are t-shirts that say this. It sets the tone perfectly. And in this movie, it just works. It is the best title card ever in a
Ever,
movie, period.
ever. I mean,
Great
there.
answer by you.
And again, like a lot of title cards are just feel besides the point. Sometimes they try to be a quote that's like you really have to think about the theme, but I feel like they're giving the theme away, like in that quote, like, oh no, this is the theme. That's we said it here, kind of like an overture
Right,
in a musical. And it feels really gimmicky. Like you're just kind of lobbing that
right,
up. Like, let me see it. No,
right.
this is not
You
giving
put a
anything away.
Bible quote and it's like, okay, like I
Okay,
see what you're
we're
doing.
going
Yeah.
here. But no, this
Yeah.
completely just sets the tone without being a gimmick.
No, it's like, this is what's happening. Get ready. And then
Yeah.
you're in it and you're like, that is the sickest thing ever.
It's
Oceans are
so cool.
battlefields.
So good.
So dope, dude. Yeah, absolutely love it. We already talked about my number one, how accurately they portray the camaraderie of being on a ship. It's as though you enlisted in Her Majesty's Navy to fight that dog, Napoleon, on the high seas. It feels so real. You're transported immediately. It's like Saving Private Ryan or Once Upon a Time in Hollywood in that, and that the attention to detail of the period transports you to that area. You've got huge gimbals recreating the ship in a 20 million gallon tank that they use for the Titanic. The sound of a cranking wheel, the sound of a creaking ship, the sea spray coming up over the sides, the way that the wind billows in the sails. You can't recreate this shit, man. It's just good filmmaking. So, how tactile it is, how real it feels like they were actually on this ship and the cast and crew was on the ship, and how much it feels to me, who was in the Navy, as like, this is what it's like to be with 180 other people out at sea. This feels spot on.
I think to that point, one thing that's really just shows a deft hand at the directing in the directing chair by Peter Weir is you don't feel his presence at all in this. Like there is a complete selflessness to his direction that he takes himself out of the equation, but you feel a steady hand driving the ship. You don't know driving the ship. I mean, excuse the pun. You don't know who it is, but you know it's someone doing it well. Like you watch a Martin Scorsese movie, a PTA, Quentin Tarantino movie, you know it's their movie. And that's not a knock against them. Peter Weir takes himself out of it a lot of the times, like in Dead Poets, The Truman Show, and this. Like he steps back, but you feel his firm control and you feel it in the details.
Completely agree with you. What else has aged the best for you about this movie?
Simple storytelling, very straightforward storytelling. I feel like a lot of scripts nowadays are convoluted, overworked, just trying to be in and out, try to over explain things, try to under explain things to just be more vague and provocative. Simple storytelling to the point, but it's not rudimentary. It's not dumbing anything down. But you know, they are chasing this ship. They have to catch this ship. That's it.
You could explain the plot of this on an elevator ride that
Yeah.
usually, like The Fugitive, another
Yep.
one where you were just like, yeah, it's a back and forth, it's a cat and mouse, British ship, French ship. French ship is far superior technologically. You know, I love it. I
Yeah.
absolutely love it. It is a very simple premise. Next up, I have this is actually a good hang movie. Like, this is a good hangout movie, you know,
Yeah.
and usually you think of a good hangout movie, you're like, oh, Dazed and Confused.
Mhm.
This is a, at times, dark movie, but not
Yeah.
really because we talked about the tonality of it. But the fact that like you want to revisit this, you want to hang out with the officers. The enlisted seem a little less fun, but that's probably the design. Like our main guys are the officers. I get
Yeah.
it. And as an enlisted guy, I wish the enlisted seemed more fun. But that's a nitpick. That's a nitpick here. This is a bros night movie. Like, this is why when you the last time we got to choose a movie, we were like, "Let's throw this one on." Great hang. You just love being back with the boys.
It's a bros night movie, but again, very accessible for the date night. Similar to like if you're going on a date night with a woman and she's like, "Hey, let's watch When Harry Met Sally," compared to if she's like, "Hey, let's watch A Walk to Remember." Like there are levels to this on either side, and you're getting a high end with Master and Commander on the other side here.
Yeah. Wife her up if she likes this one. What else you got, brother?
I already talked about the shot shooting enough, shot on 35 millimeter, minimal CGI, just looks fantastic. The casting. I think the casting in this is brilliant. I have one nitpick for a little later on, but the casting in this, especially like from top to bottom to the kids and some of the smaller characters that you really would overlook now in most movies, have just been so well vetted. Like they just know exactly what they're supposed to do, what energy they're supposed to bring to the film, and everybody delivers. And not a lot of big names at all. A lot of these people didn't even act again.
Yeah, no, absolutely right. And we'll talk about the cast in a later category, so I'll save some of that. But I agree with you there. It's great to revisit this and be like, oh, it's Russell Crowe and Paul Bettany. Like, we're in good hands. These are known and excellent actors. So, completely agree with you there. Let's go to nitpicks there. I don't have many. Like we said, this is a perfect film. This is in both of our top five. I will say reuse the same shot of the iguana entering the water on the Galapagos. It's the
Mm.
same shot. They reuse it. Um, I can't believe that you would do such a thing in such a perfect movie. That is not lazy in anywhere else. Getting lazy there does blow my mind there. And you could maybe cut out a few minutes, big picture, of when they lose their way and lose the wind down south, like the Curse of Jonah stuff. It's the only time the movie even takes a pause, but you do need that pause. So I wouldn't cut
Yeah.
much.
It's I had 3, and they kind of tie into what's aged the worst, as nothing really to this movie aged too poorly for me. Some of the sailing logistics, because they start out near Brazil, they go down around Cape Horn, completely at the southernmost tip of South America, and then back up to the Galapagos, which are next to Ecuador. We speed up a couple of those parts. I'm not mad about it to get there, but it feels a little bit tighter. And again, this is nitpicking for a reason. I'm not going to hold their hand over this. The other one was the wood carving of the Acheron was a little too good.
Perfect. My God. Great call.
He was like, yeah, he remembered it. Wait, what? You've been on this ship for how long? He pulls this out. He's like, yeah, carve this up. It's like, that looks a little too good, my friend.
Dude, I was at a museum in Spain and I saw an absolute recreation of one of their first longships. If you were like, create that using balsa wood and popsicle sticks, it would be an absolute travesty. It would look like dog shit. I cannot believe he built the ship so perfectly.
That was the one that jumped. And the last one it's kind of maybe is Billy Boyd. He just kind of takes me out of it a little bit. That's the
Mm.
only thing that I'm kind of like, is it just because of Lord of the Rings baggage? Is it because he kind of chews on a few lines? Got it, sir. South by Southwest. Like chews up some scenery a little bit occasionally, but I am really nitpicking this.
I've got him in a later category.
Okay.
Billy Boyd, who you will know from Lord of the Rings, and also this. So, I mean, great for him. If you're only in like a couple things, great
Four
choices.
movies. He's in the Lord of the Rings trilogy and Master and Commander. Like,
That's good enough.
you're good. You're good, buddy.
You're good on that. All right. The Michael Barrett, Be Careful Who You Make a Villain award for the best quote in the movie. I thought this would be easy. This is not
No,
easy. This movie is
no.
super quotable. I love this movie.
I'm going to read off a couple. It just, I mean,
Proceed.
you could add it at the end. I'm sure you're going to have more. The entire pre-final battle speech, but really the culmination of this ship is England. Like
Yeah.
everything there, just to pare it down to
Dude, and
that.
the way they nail everyone in the crowd getting quiet then. The crew
But
just gets quiet and they recognize how serious this shit is.
it's written so well, though. It's also done with a clever writing trick of where you have the climax there, and then you have the little addendum afterwards with the humor where he says, "After all,
After all.
surprises on our side." I'm like, "Oh, that's good writing. That is so." And the way Crow delivers it is spotless.
That's that's so elite. Like, imagine if right before they get off the boat in Saving Private Ryan, Tom Hanks just had like a dope little line like that. Just like, after all, boys, surprise is on our side. You'd be like, we're in for a whimsical little fight. No, that defines the tonality of it. The
Yes.
fact that he does that and you're like, sports movie, here we go.
It's so good. Such a great scene addressing the entire ship. Next quote for me, I feel like has to be on here. One must always choose the lesser of two evils. And the
It's
thing
on
I
there.
like about these first two quotes is they're the culmination of something. Like they cap
Right.
something off that builds into it, so it gives them a little more flair.
I have that on my list. I love it. Uh,
Uh, Next, oh, I mean, I'm not even gonna say the next one. You're gonna say it, so I'm gonna skip that just out of respect to you. I'm gonna skip the next two, and I'm gonna come to the last one that you led on your intro today. You've come to the wrong shop for anarchy, brother. Just, it's such a good line. It's an incredible line.
Dude, that whole back and forth is incredible. That also has men must be governed. I mean, there is any number of
Well,
bars in there.
it's a boxing match of an argument because every
Yes,
time
great
someone gives
call.
you a line, you're like, "Oh, I like that point. Oh, I like this point," and it's just back and forth. It's like this is incredible.
It's why we watch movies.
Yeah,
That exchange between Bettany and Crow, who I both think are capital A actors, excellent
yeah.
actors, and giving some of their finest work there. Excellent exchange there. The Admiral Nelson story, I love it. I love it so much because once again, like the what you were talking about, the final battle, the crew is absolutely enamored and the officers are enamored when he's giving the Admiral
Yep.
Nelson story because he has this experience with this fabled general that everyone knows about, but no one else has met. And they're like, "Can I trouble you for an anecdote, sir?" And he gives like one funny one, but then he comes back and he's like, "Let me give you what you're after, a sincere moment."
That's a great pairing. Talk about the juxtaposition of addressing his the fellow officers and then the crew. Like he can talk to
Yeah.
both people, and that's why he's so successful at leading the ship.
It is so good, dude. And, I mean, there are a
I,
million quotable moments in this one here.
I
Anything else
skip
you want to
I
throw out
skipped
before
two
I
for
go into
you.
the one?
I skipped two for you. Like so
I got
you have
one. All right. Is this one of them? Do you want to see a guillotine in Piccadilly? Want to call that raggedy ass Napoleon your king? You want your children to sing the Marseillaise? Is that one of them?
it's not. It's not. There's still two more.
Well, the one that we quote the most, the one that is the most quoted on this is must be more than 100 miles at sea, and he brings her up on our tail in the middle of the dark. That's seamanship, Mr. Pullings. By God, that's seamanship.
I
I
think
quote that daily.
I think we led the Michigan Penn State 2023 podcast with that. Was it
Yes,
28 straight
by God,
runs? That by God, that's seamanship.
that's seamanship. We quote it all the time. And the fact that that is Craster from Game of Thrones, which we didn't
Insane.
realize till we did this. Yeah, a
Insane.
guy that we've hated, but in this movie we love. So
So,
good.
other quote, I'll set you up. Would you call
I,
me an aged man of war doctor?
her line. Oh my God, I have it written down somewhere. Where is it? Oh my God, where is? I have the whole quote written down. Here it is, right here. She has a bluff bow, lovely lines. She's a fine seabird, weatherly, stiff, and fast. Very fast if she's well handled. No, she's not old. She's in her prime.
My wife literally said to me, I bet Jared loves that line.
I love the quote.
And I was like, of course he does. I was like, it's an incredible quote. It's just so good. The way he delivers it, like it's, I love how it prevents itself. Although it is, an underdog story of the ship going against the mightier Acheron. It's like, no, we don't view ourselves that way. Like we got a lot left in here. This is our
No.
ship. This is everything to us.
And he's like my current age in that. He's like, you saying I'm out of my prime? Hell no. Like,
No,
and he proves that he is certainly not out of his prime. That is a
no, he
great
is not.
line. We do not have time for your damned hobbies, man. Like, there's so
Good.
many fun quotes in this one. It's an infinitely quotable movie, like all of our favorite movies, like The
Oh,
Mummy, The Fugitive, and this movie. We quote them all the time.
the Paul Bettany is Dr. Steven to Mr. Blakeney. Are you also a doctor, Mr. Blakeney? No, you're not.
Bettany's dialed in. He doesn't have as many of the quotable lines. Most of them go to Crow, but that's to be expected.
Yeah, yeah.
I mean,
Bettany,
he's got the
we
more
haven't. I don't
quotable
know if
ones
you've
than
given
us.
Paul Bettany enough due in this yet, but just to him in this movie and really his career in general, he is one of the most additive actors I can ever remember. He makes everything better he's in, and he takes very little, if anything, ever off the table.
can't think of one time I was like, Paul Bettany really worsened that movie.
I
It's
don't have
never
any
happened.
Wimbledon takes.
I have no Wimbledon takes, but I mean, I certainly think that he helps A Knight's Tale. He's incredible in A Knight's Tale. We might
Incredible.
do that one year. If we
We
do this for 10 more years, we'll probably do that movie.
It's one of those where, like, really happy he got his bag for Marvel. Actually, I'm not because it deprived us of
It
such a
r
great
No.
career.
He Yeah. For him,
So
I'm actually
many
not happy because he could have done a million more of these.
There's so many good roles in there that he could have had, and maybe he will, later career. He's not that old, so he can still pop in, but just that charisma and presence he brings as a supporting character is this is gonna sound like a weird comp, very similar to Brad Pitt. I think Pitt's best is a number 2, and I think Bettany is the
Yeah.
same way.
He's married to Jennifer Garner in a happy marriage.
Good for him.
I'm thinking he's doing fine.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he's doing
Basically,
good.
like, it's him and Natalie Portman that I was like, I would sell
Jennifer
my soul.
Connelly,
Connolly, not Garner, excuse me. Yeah, yeah. Garner's,
even
Ben
better.
Affleck. No, it is better. It is better. I've got Connolly ahead of Garner in the Jennifer rankings, way ahead of Lopez. All right, next category. This is a fun one. Now, we stole this one from the Rewatchables, but it's an homage. We respect tremendously that show. The Dion Waiters or the Shonda Brown Award for
There
this
it is.
podcast. You know exactly what it means. But for those of you that haven't heard one of these before, doesn't have a lot of screen time, but makes the most of it. So there's a limit here. So I'm interested to see where we're at on the limit because I have a clear winner, but he might be over the limit.
I have 3 nominees from my side.
Okay, proceed.
All right, so Robert Pugh as Mr. Allen Craster
First
from Game
nominee.
of Thrones.
If he's eligible, he wins it.
He's in there. Max Purkis as Mr. Blakeney.
Yes.
Might
If
be in it
he's
too
in there,
much.
they're kind of in the same amount of screen time.
Wild card. David Threlfall as Killick, the captain's steward, is hilarious in this movie. And he might be on screen for a minute and a half.
Yeah. These are the 3 names. Now, the question is Pugh on there too much? Because who's the 3rd leading character in this? Probably James Darcy's character.
Mr. Blakeney, probably.
And then it's
Max
probably
Purkis,
Blakeney, but then it's probably Pugh as the 4th lead,
Yeah.
who is the guy that says that seamanship quote.
Yeah.
If he's eligible, that's your winner. But like this movie is a true two-hander. It is Crow and Bettany.
Yep.
Like this is a real two-hander. Despite the fact that you spend a lot of time with the crew, you don't spend prolonged periods with anyone else on the crew. You don't get to know anybody else. You get to
No.
kind of know them, which is fitting for how it's like to be at sea. Like you get to know them, but you don't get to know them.
Exactly. That's why I think like Mr. Blakeney's probably too much screen time as well because he's arguably the 3rd lead because you get so much screen time with him early. I mean, he's one of the first characters you see being woken up on the sea deck. And then the story of him getting the arm amputated and everything else. And then the relationship he and Paul Bettany have is incredibly heartwarming throughout.
I love it.
The way he's
It's
cheering
one of the
him
best
up
pieces,
throughout when he's down. It's so good. So I think he has to be ineligible with that. If it's Killick, I am ecstatic
It's
because
Killick,
I thought he was hilarious.
That's hilarious.
He just kept making small little comments and he's so just bitter and angry all the time. And Crow just ignores him and it's just, oh, my favorite. And Killick's like, oh, your bloody favorite. And just always makes snide comments under his breath.
And there's no one else to choose either. Like you don't get to hang out with anybody else. So like you run out of guys pretty quickly. So yeah, we'll go Killick there. All right, next up, the Holy Shit Clell Mullings is throwing a pass award. Scene where this movie decided it's really going for it. I have a couple nominations because this whole movie goes for it.
The first one that I wrote down was the arm amputation. The arm amputation, because that's not something you're expecting in this. You have the first battle, it's like, oh, it's a broken arm, sir, I'll be okay. And then all of a sudden he's biting down on something and he's sawing his arm off. It's like, oh, okay, we're going to get the balance here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a great call out. I went with the opening battle, but plenty of bad movies have opened with a big battle. Like that's nothing new to open with a big battle. It's just that they execute this one.
Yeah.
So I think right out of the gate, you're like,
they get their ass kicked in the opening battle.
And they don't win the opening battle. Yeah. To open up with a losing battle and be like, yo, this is how it looks. And we're killing off people immediately. I think like there is no like easing into this movie. Even the first time I watched it, you kind of do that sit up motion 6 minutes in. You're like, oh, okay, this is the kind of movie I'm in for.
Yeah. I mean, even the final battle scene has another one that kind of like slow plays you. They have the deceit of being a whaler, so they have the Acheron approach them slowly, and then they board the ship, and everyone aboard the Acheron is acting like they are already dead. And then Mr. Allen says, We've won, sir." And then all of a sudden, boom, bullet to the head. It's like, no, it brings you right back to the reality of war.
Right. Yep, absolutely. There's another shot of this, and it is out at sea, and it is Russell Crowe hanging off the side of the rigging
Oh,
with a pan over as the ship moves past, and it's like, that's Russell Crowe hanging off the side of a replica man of war ship from 1860, and we really filmed this out at sea, and that looks effing awesome.
it's so
So
good.
when you see that, and it, like you said, on film, on location out at sea, you're like, this is a different level of movie. And every time I watch it, that scene makes me smile probably more than any other scene. I think you
It
know the exact shot.
Yeah, absolutely, I do. It gives you that feeling like a kid, like, oh, that's like that's the Steven Spielberg wonder face, like your jaw's in the floor. This is unbelievable. Like, I don't know
Yeah.
how they filmed this. I don't know how it looks so good, especially, it came out in '03, so probably filmed in '02. Just
Mhm.
incredible stuff. And again, like we are truly in the hands of a master, and this is mastery level work.
It is. And then anything at battle, like these battle sequences, the way that they show splintering wood, the
Mhm.
sound design. Again, this movie won Academy Awards. It was nominated for multiple Academy Awards for its production and the everything as far as how tactile it was on set. Anything in battle feels so incredibly real. So, like anything like that, you're just like, holy shit, we really did this, didn't we?
It's the battles, I mean, very visceral is the word I kept coming back to because it feels like you're
Same.
on the ship with them. Everything's in your face, and you see how fragile everything is, like how easy it is to be attacked, be hit by something, be a casualty of war, and how fragile it is. And then you see that by the body count at the end, like the guys that they're killed off. I mean, even the Mr. Holland sequence,
Mm.
like it's very tragic. I mean, there's a suicide in the middle of this movie we don't even discuss like that. Like, just oh yeah, there's that in the middle, and then the guy that is left out to sea because the mast or whatever crashes down into the water and has to be cut free, otherwise it's going to sink the ship like an anchor. Like all of those things in there, just like man, everything can change on a dime at sea.
Heavy moments, but yet you still come out of this thing feeling great. It's
Yep,
it's truly a masterpiece because of that, to be this heavy and
yep,
still come out feeling hopeful and fun, and
yeah,
yeah, I still like, you still wanna sign up to join this crew after this, despite
yeah.
seeing an arm amputated. You're like, "Yeah, I'm in."
I'm in.
It's absolute I'm in. Alright, the Wilton Spate, is this the best we could do casting? I've got one for you here, and let's see if it's the same. Lieutenant Calamy, who is
Yeah.
the brown-haired guy that
Yep.
is close with, our other lieutenant that we
Blakeney.
really like, Blakely. Could we get Aaron Taylor Johnson for this? He would have been 13 at that time, was
That's a good.
already a kid actor,
He
and
was
is
in
British.
he was in Shanghai Nights around this time, so it's like
Yeah,
I think that
Aaron
would have been a
Taylor Johnson. Yeah.
that would have been a good move. That would have been a good one. I mean, I was Billy Boyd, but again, Billy Boyd might be one of the reasons this is getting made at that time.
Billy Boyd is like the 3rd biggest name in this bio. He might have been bigger than Bettany at the
I
time
think
because he was
he's
in Lord of the Rings, yeah,
I think he's 2nd or 3rd billing, so it's really high up there. So it's tough to
and he's
recast,
not
and
good in it, you're right, yeah.
yeah, it just kind of jumps out to you. But that was all I had. I had very minimal names for this.
Nope, I agree with you there, but what we will do, this one's more fun. Sequel, prequel, prestige TV, recast in any era, because we think this is something that should be revisited. Like, honestly, there should have been 2 more of these
Yep.
with Crow and Bettany in their prime. It's too late now. Like,
Yep.
now we've gotta revisit this, and that's a shame. It's like same with Nice Guys. Like, Crow should have he should have both of the like, Gladiator doesn't make sense. That's not a franchise, but this should have been franchised. Nice Guys should have been franchised. So how do we fix this? Prestige TV sequel? What do you think?
I like it on the biggest screen possible. So I like a sequel. And like again, there's
Okay.
so many books to choose from. This was a combination of 2 books, Master and Commander and The Far Side of the World, that follow the adventures of Jack Aubrey and Dr. Steven. I keep saying just Dr. Steven. It sounds like he hosts a kid show. Sure, he actually has a last name as well. But like, so
Wait.
there's plenty of material to choose from. It's not like you're starting from scratch.
Yes, there is. So you doesn't even have to be a sequel. You could go early days. So you could
Yeah.
go younger. So you've got all you're afforded a lot. So modern casting, here's what I've got. I don't love it. I don't love any of the modern castings, but I've got Richard Madden, who was Rob Stark, and Harris Dickinson, who was in 1912, played the kid that delivered the final message in 1912.
1912?
Yes.
1917?
Is it 1917 or 1912? Yeah, yeah. It's
1917.
the 1917. I
I
apologize.
was
Yeah.
like, 1912? I was like, was it about the Titanic?
It's the end of the Civil War or the First World War. Yes.
I like Harris Dickinson in, um, was it oh man, the Zac Efron wrestling movie.
Yes. Yeah. He's in that one as well. So I think
And
he could do Steven, but I don't love it. Like, that's what I would choose for now.
I was thinking, so I thought of like a pairing. I mean, we could bend this one from another show. I was thinking Daniel Ings, the Laughing Storm from
Hmm.
the Night of the Seven Kingdoms as the Doctor,
Love where love it.
and I knew you'd love that one. And then either Theo James or Robert Pattinson as the Captain.
Robert Pattinson was a name I was going to bring up. I like that a lot. I like
Like,
that a lot. Doesn't have to be blonde. So yeah, let's go the Laughing Storm over Harris Dickinson. I'm in on that. I also would be in on that as a prestige TV. I think this works as prestige TV, but not like 10 episodes, definitely not 20 episodes, 6 to 8.
yeah, I wrote
Six
down
to eight good episodes.
I wrote down some fun ones throughout, inspired by you because you have fun ones as well. If you
Mhm.
wanted to go American, you go Redford and Newman. Give me Butch and Sundance again in their prime, and this is such a rollicking good time on the ship. If
Affleck
you
Damon.
Affleck, Damon, Ian McKellen, Patrick Stewart,
Mhm.
Mike, staying in the same realm, going
Oh,
from best friends in chemistry,
Oh, I
Michael
don't think you know
Fassbender.
how good that is. I don't think you know how good that is. In their prime, that
Yeah.
works, by the way.
Oh, I put some thought into this. I mean,
That
it's
works.
staying in the same universe though. Like again, I'm going more off on screen chemistry. Michael Fassbender, James McAvoy together.
Mhm.
Um, Another more dream casting: Christian Bale and Killian Murphy.
Who is who? Obviously Bale
Bale is the
as
captain.
Jack.
Killian Murphy is the doctor as the two.
Yeah, that works. That works for me.
Daniel Craig and Mark Strong.
That works for me too. All these work for me, actually. These are all working.
I put a
I'd
lot of
watch
thought.
any of them.
I put it.
I'd watch any of these.
And honestly, if you wanted to just go like Andy Jared are going to geek out and we're going to cross over completely, why don't we do Nikolaj Coster-Waldau and Peter Dinklage and do Jamie and Tyrion?
Obviously, I'd watch any of them. But
Oh yeah.
here you've got me now because I just said yes to all of them. So maybe you have your target audience here, sir. The one that I said was the perfect throughout all of time would have been Anthony Hopkins as Jack Aubrey and Michael Caine as Dr. Steven. I was like,
Good.
they fit it perfectly.
Yeah.
And they've both played similar roles before. Or throw Charles Dance into Dr. Steven to get another Game of Thrones guy in there. You could just mix and match a lot of the Game of Thrones guys and do this now. The
Yeah.
fact of the matter is, the more important thing is this is too good of material to not have something else. And
Yeah.
a lot of times we're like, don't redo this, leave it alone. Like the Mummy, we're
Yes.
like, probably just leave this alone.
Except we're
Like
getting
you don't.
another one, baby. Let's go.
Yeah, but it's the same guys. I'm in.
Exactly.
Let's
That's
go.
the thing. Yeah. Yeah.
Fire me up.
Not
But for
recasted.
this, like, yeah, do it again. Like this
Yeah.
is great. There's too much good source material,
Yeah.
and I'm interested to see something else, provided you do it the same way that we did this and you do it right.
You can't go shot on digital heavy CGI. It would just completely fail.
I completely
Yeah.
agree. All right, last question. Who won the movie?
Us as
The
viewers,
the viewers.
it's I mean, it's I think it has to be either Crow or Bettany because most people don't even know Peter Weir directed this, which is
Mhm.
a shame, but it's the reality of it. So
He can't be the winner.
Crow or Bettany, I would lean Crow.
This might be the rare one where it is the movie, where like the thing that stands up over time is the movie itself.
Also,
It's one of those rare
neither were
ones,
nominated.
which is crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah. So like this didn't push Crow's career to another level. It didn't push Bettany's career to another level. It didn't ascend Peter Weir to another level. The movie itself, just 5, 6 years later, people realized was a masterpiece.
Yep.
So this is a tough one, man. It might just be the movie itself, the mythos of this standalone movie that you and I consider a classic, that both of us have in our top 5, that, like, my dad loves. Like, does Liv like this movie? Does your
Loves it.
wife like this one?
Liv loved it. My mom loved it when we saw it in theaters. Like, it's
What a
just
testament.
it's a well-told story, and it's one of the rarest examples of a movie or a film, the way it's done, like how high-end everything is, a film becoming a cult classic. That is so rare. It's normally like a Big Lebowski does that, it's still in the hands of the
Right.
Coen brothers, but like the source material is silly and goofy, and it's meant to endure and be on the background of college dorm rooms for decades. Master and Commander becoming this was something completely unheard of at that time. You never would have been like, yeah, Master and Commander is going to be one of the biggest like guy movies in 20 years, and you're still going to talk about it.
It's dead serious, but yet it has the tonality of, like, Band of Brothers, where you're like, "Yeah, I'm having a good time. Like, I
Yeah,
just wanna be here. I wanna
this is
revisit
fun.
this." Yeah, absolutely insane. This was fun, brother. Loved revisiting this one with you. One of our dual favorites. This is one that, we can send off to the people that are like, "Oh, you do a podcast, but I don't care about Michigan football." It's good to have these out there, but this is kind of a one-off for us,
Yeah.
middle of the summer. After
Th-
this, it's time to get back to business.
this is what we do before we hop on podcasts.
Yes. Yeah, literally. Like, we're like, if we don't do it live, you and I are just gonna do this. Like, if you could recast Master and Commander, how you doing it? We've had that conversation.
Yeah, we talk about this stuff all the time, so it's always nice to have this outlet once a year, be afforded the opportunity from Maize and Brew and the Fan First Sports Network to just be like, hey, we're going to talk movies this week. And yeah, we're good with that. Go ahead. And your next week we'll be back to regularly scheduled programming, but it's always nice to especially talk about a movie that's such a shared love and passion of ours to like
Dude,
expand that to our audience.
100%. If 20 people listen to this till the end and 5 have seen the movie and another 3 go see this movie because of us, job well done in
Yeah,
my mind. If
yeah,
we can get 3 people to go love this movie that, we loved it beforehand. I feel like everyone had seen probably The Mummy and The Fugitive, but we chose really popular movies for our first 2.
yeah.
This was the first foray into, like, you might not have seen this one.
It's a little more very
A
obscure, a
little bit.
little more
Yeah,
obscure,
a
like,
little
as we're
obscure.
diving deeper into that realm, but not to any kind of weird indie degree or anything like that, but, like, this is one I hope we can turn some people onto.
Absolutely, brother. All right, that's going to do it for this podcast. We'll be back next week. Make sure you like, share, subscribe. All the new socials out there at OOTB Sports on Instagram is the new one. I am Jared. That is Andy. Thank you to producer Tony. We'd like to remind you that wherever you go, go blue.